Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are looking at where you need to trust more in your life or themes of trust that Spirit wants you to focus on. So, as usual, 3 groups today. I have piles set up today because I want to do charms and letters. So just to save time, I've pre-pulled cards. Haven't looked at them obviously, and we're gonna see what comes up in the readings together. But we also have the images that you saw on the cover. So we've got group number 1 with the man meditating, group number 2 with the person walking into the forest, and group number 3 with the man and the clock. So select the image or images or pile that resonates with you and use the timestamps in the description box or the chapters below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. If you do feel called to more than one, that's totally fine. Just use your intuition to take the messages from whichever readings you're drawn to that feel like they are for you. Keep in mind that these are general readings. They are also timeless readings. So with that all said, we will see you in your readings. All right, hi group number 1. You chose either this particular pile or the image that I'll put up on the screen now, which is the man meditating. So the prompt this morning when I woke up was around trust, and Spirit gave me this first image saying a man meditating in peace. So it felt very much like trust for this particular pile is going to be through connection to the divine and inner peace. But we're going to get deeper, lots more information. So we've got the cards that you guys have chosen and pre-pulled because we're going to do charms and letters today as well. So let's dive in and find out what's going on. Let's start at the top and work our way down because I've got Oracle and Tarot in this pile. Make it happen. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing from this card is the moon here, the word moon standing out like very bold to me. So it feels like there's something that you've been meditating on. The moon reminds me of the subconscious mind, the inner realms, and the emotional body as well. So I'm feeling like calming that down and planting the right seeds is going to grow something that will allow you to trust. But I'm also seeing with the actual card here talking about making it happen, and if not now, when, then I think that it's kind of like action versus inaction, but the trust really comes from receiving the information you need, being in that state of inner peace, and then I think taking action based on that. But let's keep going and get more information. Talk about your feelings. Tell a friend how you feel. I was getting feelings from the moon card, so there's something about how you feel here that's so important to trusting. Cultivating trust, I just heard. We have divine order, Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. I think this divine order is really, in my experience, what has helped me to trust the most, because through experience, like through situations in my life, I have seen time and time again that there is a divine order to things. And every time that my human self or my ego tries to force something or tries to push ahead with something that it's just not the right time, or there's a divine order to it that I don't see, Spirit will show me that. And they will provide context based on how things unfold. And it always ends up being in divine order. There's always a purpose. There's always a reason for everything happening in a very synchronized way. So I think trust can come when you understand that there is divine order to everything. There's a process to it, and it might seem chaotic, but there's actually an underlying order. Relationship harmony. Maybe this is where the emotions come into things, because relationships are where we tend to feel the most emotions, whether it's the relationship with other people or the relationship with ourselves and with the divine. I think that's a really kind of underrated relationship. I think that some people don't necessarily see that as a relationship. You do have to cultivate a relationship with Spirit. And how do you make a relationship healthy? You communicate. You express how you feel. You build a bond of trust through action. By trusting the divine and surrendering, the divine will trust you, and they will show you that you can trust them and they will earn that. I was literally thinking about that yesterday when I was driving somewhere that Spirit had guided me to go. I'll tell you this story because it's relevant here, and then we'll get to this card. So I was driving and I hadn't been out of the house in, I don't know, like a week or so. I'm kind of a hermit. And Spirit said, you're going to go watch a movie. And I was like, okay, well, and I started coming up with all these excuses as to why I couldn't do that. And they said, no, you're going to go watch this movie and you're going to go to a theater that you've never been to before that's out of your town. So I had to drive about 30 minutes to get there, and it was taking a route I'd never taken before. And I was like, okay, I know the drill. When Spirit prompts me to do something and my intuition is nudging me, I go, yeah, okay, sure, even if I don't understand why. And so on the path there, on the road there, I was seeing all these synchronicities and confirmations, and I was feeling Spirit with me the whole time. And they're like, yeah, okay, you're trusting us, we trust you, and we're going to prove it. And so they took me to the theater. Everything worked out really well, and I ended up getting like a discounted ticket, and it was just like this beautiful experience. And there was a lot of other synchronicities that I won't go into here, but it was a big thing. And the purpose of me telling you this is because this is the only reason I was able to trust and take action, even though my mind was telling me something else, is because I have cultivated a relationship with the divine, where I can trust them and I can trust myself to discern the messages and to take action on them. So it's a bit of both, right? I have to trust them and I also have to trust myself. So this is the relationship I think Spirit's talking about here. They want you to open up. They want you to open up. I just started hearing the song Howling at the Moon in my head. Howling at the moon, trying to get to you. So there's something about opening up and expressing yourself and speaking to Spirit, like letting it out. It needs to come out. Spirit, they feel everything. Spirit is God's source. I say Spirit because it's kind of like an all-encompassing non-denominational word, but they, them, it is everything. And so they know, it knows what you're feeling. So they want you to open up. So relationship, what does this card actually say? Archangel Ragwell. Hey, you got Ragwell twice. Okay, so Ragwell wants to work with you, group one. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So if there were, I'm getting the feeling of like repressed feelings. Meditation can really help you with that. Anytime that I'm noticing symptoms in my life showing up either physically or, in my behaviors, I go, oh, it's time to meditate. It's time to sit down and connect and commune with Spirit. And this is how you keep a relationship strong, is you keep the communication lines open and you have a mutual understanding. And, this creates relationship harmony. So if there's something going on inside you that is conflicting, Spirit is saying, open up and let us, they just they said, share the load. I did just finish watching Lord of the Rings, but when Sam tells Frodo, would it help if I carried the ring? Like, let me share the load, It's funny that I just said wing accidentally instead of ring. So it's something about your light body and the wings. I'm going to be doing a reading on that coming up soon too, because there's been action when it comes to wings and light body activations going on. But yeah, there's a relationship Spirit wants you to cultivate with them, and you might have a strong, healthy relationship with Spirit. You might not have one at all. It depends from person to person, right? But no matter what your circumstances are, if you open up and connect to the divine, things will get easier. Your ability to trust yourself and your creation of reality and other people even will become stronger because you're not disconnected. Goodwill, Goddess Gaia, and Ocean Jasper, Crystal Goddess number 888. Goodwill. Spirit has goodwill for you, towards all men, all mankind, all humans. Spirit has goodwill to everything. And so this again is part of the trust, is understanding that there is no ill will. And if you are angry at the divine, you're really actually angry at yourself. Yeah, that's a big message here. If you're angry at the divine, you're actually only angry at yourself. And if you let that go and you just honor that this has all been part of the process, that there is an order to this, and this is part of you healing your relationship with yourself, which will improve your relationship with the divine, which will in turn improve your relationships with everyone else here on this planet. They said on God's green earth. That's what they said. On God's green earth. Yes. Everything becomes not necessarily easier, but it becomes more fluid. It's easier to trust at the very least. The Chariot. The number 7 is the number of trust, and Chariot is the number 7. It says success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. I feel like this is really talking about discipline of yourself to be able to open up and feel what you're feeling and express that, communicate that, open up. They said be a conduit. Yeah, be a conduit. And I'm also seeing here taking action. The Chariot, interesting. I actually love the Chariot card because it's kind of a paradox. The Chariot traditionally can represent movement and action and success and, like forging your way forward, which is very, it's very much connected to that make it happen card. But actually what the Chariot can represent is contemplation and planning and thinking about things before you take the action. So it's not even necessarily about the action itself. It's about getting into alignment and having a plan, so that when you do take action, you move forward very cohesively, in divine order. So this is kind of like getting the two parts of you on the same page. The you that is feeling the feelings, the you that's observing the feelings, the you that's repressing the feelings. Like there's so many different yous within you. We all have that, right? We're multifaceted, multidimensional, fractalized beings. And I'm seeing here again the wings. They're showing me these wings. Her fairy wings, the angel wings. Trusting your own wings, they said. Oh, yeah, of course, right. So again, they're really talking a lot about self-trust here. Self-trust to be able to discern and hear your intuition. And let me tell you from my own experience, if you have clogged up emotions, it becomes a lot harder to discern the truth because your feeling body is where your intuition can come through. But if it's clogged up, it's very difficult to hear that. It's very difficult to feel it clearly. It gets confused and then you don't trust yourself, and then that spirals. And then you don't trust spirit because you don't trust yourself, right? So it's like this whole thing. The Chariot is helping you here to get things in alignment. 7 is also about, it's like rest, contemplation, meditation, alignment, spiritual luck and blessings and alignment for the path forward that come from that. They also just said intention. They took me back to the Goodwill card and they said intention is important. Okay. So having good intention, positive intention, not coming from a place of being closed off. That's another big part of trust. And they keep talking about trusting the people around you as well. Like if you don't trust yourself to trust the people around you, or to discern who is trustworthy around you, this is a big thing. They want you to feel what you're feeling so that discernment becomes greater. Wow. Oh, and it's going to be so worth it, group number 1, because you have the 10 of Summer, that's the 10 of Cups, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, and people you can trust. No way. We were literally just talking. They gave me that message. You see how divinely ordered everything is. Anytime that I start to doubt, anytime that the fear reality grips me and it feels so real, and all-consuming and overwhelming emotionally, I think back to all the times that I saw synchronicities and miracles and things line up exactly as Spirit showed me or told me that they would, or gave me clues to, because they don't give me all the information. They give me some, enough for me to be able to trust through the process. And so you're going to have good, trusting relationships here. And I'll say, I've said this before, I will say it again. If you don't trust yourself, you're not going to be able to trust other people, because everything is a mirror. Reality is a mirror. So if you keep getting people who are untrustworthy approaching you or entering into your life, or you're allowing them to be there, it's because you don't trust yourself. So the more you heal your relationship with yourself, the better everything gets, because you can then trust other people and actually discern who is trustworthy, like I was saying. So people you can trust is a big thing here. Trusting yourself, trusting spirit, trusting other people will come along with that. Oh, there's this little hair that's bugging me. There we go, I got it. Okay. You have the Hierophant. Yeah, I'm seeing like medicine woman. What was that old show, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman? That always used to be on in the background. My mom used to watch that. I don't even know what that show was about, but it just came up in that reference. So, but yeah, it's like some kind of healing. Emotional healing is kind of what I'm seeing here. Emotional healing. Whoa, you have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Materials. And you see all these people holding hands. Look, it's like goodwill. Humanity, it's a trusting other people, trusting humans. Like trusting humans, that people are inherently good. But I truly believe that people are inherently good. And anytime that their behavior says otherwise, it's just coming from wounding. It's coming from pain. It's coming from programs, or it's coming from some kind of a negative influence or repression. So the more that we make things visible within ourselves, the better people we can be, and the better people we will see. Yeah. A lot of abundance here, abundance of healthy relationships, abundance of stability and community connection, and your resources being need harmony. Yeah, relationship harmony. Like this is what trust is going to lead you to. Group number 1. Knight of Emotions. You see they keep talking about the emotions from the very first card, and they want you to take action on that. So it's more of an internal action, really. It's not like about jumping into action physically, although I think that will come from this work, right? With the Chariot, that will come from this preparatory work. But right now, they really want you to focus on your emotions. Look at that spiral fossil. That's evolution right there. This is cycles. This is growth. This is something ancient. So old emotions coming up to be processed so that you can move out of that old, I just heard timelines, old timelines. Timeline splits on the earth. Yeah, so being able to ascend and move out of the old patterns of emotions and emotional repression. They keep giving me that. It's like compartmentalization. You know, there's a time to kind of sit on your emotions, but if you do this unconsciously as like a defense mechanism or a coping mechanism, that's when it can become detrimental. When we do that consciously, like, okay, I don't have the capacity to process what's happening right now inside me or outside of me, so I'm going to, relegate that to deal with it later. That's fine, because you're doing it consciously. And as long as you come back to that, it won't get stopped up. It won't get stuck. They keep showing me a clogged toilet. Yeah. And anytime that I have a dream about toilets getting clogged, I know that this is emotional backup. It's like the system's clogged. The emotions are clogged. Something needs to be felt and released and flushed away. So there's some old emotions here, maybe pain around relationships that where there was conflict or arguments or disagreements, or people, didn't prove that they were trustworthy, didn't prove that they had goodwill. Maybe you trusted a friend and they backstabbed you, something like that. Family as well could be involved in that too. And so you went on to, you put your guard up, you put your armor on. And of course, that's a thing that we do, right? To protect ourselves. There's no harm in that. But insofar that it keeps us safe temporarily, but it's not meant to be used long term, because it doesn't treat the issue itself, which is coming from within. And that's why they're focusing so much on emotions here. Page of Emotions. Yeah, more emotions. Page of Emotions. They're saying open up to the emotions. Oh, that's interesting. Look at this. That scene right there. I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but there's like a little portal in her stomach leading into a forest, and it's reminding me of the cover image for group 2. I haven't done that reading yet, so I don't know what it's going to be about, but there's something that's reminding me of that there, so there could be messages there too for you. The octopus does remind me of stuck emotions. It's like tentacles, they grab on and they're very sucky, and it's it can be debilitating. So they're really recommending processing your emotions, letting go of things, opening up your heart, feeling, being willing to feel, setting a good intention to heal. And this is going to balance things out. It's already happening, is what they're showing me clairvoyantly. Like, it's already happening. This isn't something that is brand new to you. Like, if you were called to this reading, you've probably already been doing a lot of this work. But this is kind of like a next level of it that is going to help you to see the physical manifestation of that. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's going to be physical. It's going to be made material. You're going to see all of the work you've done externalized in the forms of relationships that you attract, in the type of resources that you have available to you financially or physically or otherwise. And your ability to handle and regulate your emotions is going to be so much better. The Tower. Wow. I almost thought it was in reverse because it sort of looks like, but it's not, it's upright. So the Tower card, this is talking about, the emotional pain that may have rocked you in the past and destabilized your ability to trust yourself or others or both, or even spirit, right? It's all connected. What they're saying here is that you can trust. It's like, but there's going to be what they're saying is there's going to be some peace that comes after some of this upheaval. Right now, I'm feeling like it's internal upheaval. It's not something outside of you. It's in the unseen realms. It's in the emotions. It's in the subconscious. It's in the soul, so the more that you can go internal and work on some of those emotions, the easier this balance is going to get, and the more you'll be able to trust. Okay, we're already at 21 minutes, so let's get a move on. Let's get some charms. This is going to be a long reading. If you're with me, then you're with me. There we go. Okay, so we'll get some, actually, let me zoom you in. That's a bit better. We'll get some charms for group number 1. First thing I'm seeing, there's always hairs. That's what I Kitty's long haired and I have long hair, so there's just hairs everywhere in my house. But anyway, you've got the hammer. So yeah, this is fixing something, and I'm also seeing the key. Look, you have 2 keys. So there's something that needs to be unlocked, and this will unlock. Okay, so what they're showing me is you're going to unlock something within yourself, right? I think opening up to yourself emotionally or digging deeper into those layers of emotions is going to unlock something, and then that unlocks this much larger key. They're showing me it's like a portal to a higher realm, higher timeline, higher state of consciousness, because when you unlock these different things within yourself, you open up to the divine, and that's again where this trust is coming in. So you're going to be fixing something, you're going to be building something as well. I was also seeing you have this axe. So you've got tools here, you got tools to build things. I can also see the axe as cutting things out that need to be released. Yeah, I'm seeing the moon and this baby outfit. So this could have even been stuff from childhood, things where maybe your emotional needs were not met, or yeah, they're showing me a baby crying. Okay, so something about emotional needs being met or not met, and that impacting your trust. Yeah, it does, Again, in my own experience, just to give you guys context, I don't want to make this about myself, but I like to give you guys kind of examples so you can understand it or maybe apply it to your own life. Growing up in an environment where one of my parents was like actively hostile and the other one was somewhat emotionally negligent. Well, both were emotionally negligent to a degree. It's hard to trust yourself and others after growing up in an environment like that where there's insecure attachment. So to reconnect to the self and to reconnect to other people and to reconnect to the divine, really above all else, it's a process of creating inner security again, and healing the inner child, I think, is going to be one of these keys. I want to put this key over here because that feels like that's the key. You open your heart, you connect to your inner child, you process these layers of, unresolved emotion, you nurture yourself back to good health is what they just said. And then you're able to unlock something at a higher level and build something strong for the future. Oh yeah, that's what the Ten of Pentacles can talk about too, building something that's going to last a lifetime. Family, and both of the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups talk about family. So healthy families, that's maybe the key, is creating a healthy family system. It's like internal family systems, healing that within yourself, and then you'll see that on the outside. What is this one? Okay, well, on one side there's a tree, and on the other side, I think it says seed of life. Can you guys see that? At first, I thought it said good life, and then I looked a little closer, and I think it says seed of life. And wasn't there a card that reminded me of like a seed? I can't remember now, but you've got another tree. So 2 trees, these are like family trees, I'm feeling. So there's a lot to do with family here. Snowflake, like the special snowflake, I feel like you're very individual, or you stand out from the family. You're maybe different than the family, or you're just a unique person. Group 1. I almost called you group 3 randomly. That's so weird. And you have 2 eyes here. So this is bringing awareness to something. They just gave me the word focus as well. So focus is important here, focusing on these things from the family line, focusing on things, from your inner child, focusing on your actual family if you have a physical, family of your own, or you're very connected to your earthly family. Something about seeing something, there's going to be keys unlocked with that. In higher levels of consciousness, they keep saying. And meditation, they're bringing me back to meditation, the cover image you guys chose. So meditation is going to be very, very important in this process. It does help you trust yourself more. It does help you trust divine because you're connecting, having a conversation. You've got the Cheshire Cat, we're all mad here. I am getting a message for someone here about being seen as different or even like crazy by your family, being seen as like, they were giving me this phrase of like, oh, you're such a special snowflake. You think you're so special. Let me first say, yes, you are. Okay, yes, you are special. And second of all, I think the derogatory nature of that could have been some of the conflict or the distortion that was showing up in not being able to trust other people, being seen as crazy, or people not trusting you. That could be significant here because that came through strongly. You've got the Hydra, the 3-headed dragon. Yeah, I'm seeing like multiple parts of the self needing to be integrated. The more you integrate the parts of yourself, the more integrated everything becomes, the more ordered it is. So it's like all these different parts of the self are in alignment and they're not warring against each other. And then you trust yourself more. And spirit can speak to you more directly because you're not kind of all fractalized and distorted. It becomes clearer. So they're also showing me Hercules when he cuts off the head of the Hydra and then 2 more spring up. And it's like, okay, that doesn't work. You can't keep trying to cut the heads off because it actually is counterproductive. And I'm seeing this here to do with emotions, right? If you're trying to cut the head off of the emotions, 2 more are going to spring up. Like if you try to repress it, it's going to get worse, not better. So again, they're talking about really tuning in and feeling what you're feeling, letting yourself feel. And if you're not able to do it in the moment that the emotion comes up, set aside specific time in your day, be with the intention to be good to yourself, is what Spirit just said, to be good to yourself, because when you let yourself feel, you are being good to yourself because you're helping yourself to heal. Oh, okay. This one reminds me of Saturn. Yeah, this is like the Saturn charm. So Saturn is kind of like hard lessons. They also just said legacy and lifetime. Yeah, so something you're learning here. Saturn can also be connected to the father, to masculine energy, to working hard, to implementing things, putting things into action. They're showing me the tools again. So it's Saturn is giving you the tools, or Saturn is helping you to develop the tools. And they said discipline again. Yeah, we did get that coming up in the cards. So discipline's important here. Discipline to take care of yourself, discipline to connect to people in a way that is with goodwill. They said, yeah, with goodwill. So they're saying, like, don't think negatively. Oh, yeah. This is a big message. They're saying don't think negatively about other people, because even if you think that it doesn't affect them, it does. Thought forms have wave energy, and everything that you send out, especially if it's focused on an individual, it goes to them. You know, they don't have to necessarily accept it. If they've done a lot of healing with themselves, it'll just bounce off them. But it's still not a good thing to do energetically. That can accrue karma. So thinking positively about yourself and others, thinking positively about spirit, you know, and intentionally doing that, cultivating that within your mind, that's the discipline. It's a very internal, it's a very specific form of strength. But if you can master that, the world is your oyster, really. Anything is possible, because it's all through the mind that we create. You have the cat. She's looking very watchful, this kitty. So looks like, you know, you're meant to just sit back and observe. You're meant to watch your thoughts. You're meant to observe the synchronicities from the divine as well. They just said, don't fear bad luck. And they were showing me a black cat in my mind. I see black cats personally as being lucky. Like anytime there's a black cat, it's like protection, support. You know, the divine is watching over you. Cats are super psychic and very powerful beings. So I'm seeing this cat here as kind of like it's watching you to see what you're thinking, to see what you're doing. Do you have good intention? Are you coming from a heart-centered place? Not just towards other people, but towards yourself. Because negative thoughts you have towards other people are, again, a reflection of things that you're projecting out into the world onto other yous, because everyone else is another you. So think of it that way. And they're saying don't fear any bad luck. You can cancel that out right away just by switching your intent, just by focusing on that goodwill towards self and all others. And it does this healing. It does healing. You've got the green moon. This is reminding me of the ocean. I just saw a green ocean clairvoyantly. The moon rules the tides, yeah. And the ocean I always associate with the subconscious mind and the deeper realms as well. Emotions, water is emotion. It flows like water. So group number 1, there's some kind of purification that's trying to happen here. You also have the black rose in the crystals. So yeah, this is talking about purification. There's something that needs to be purified here. Yeah, they just showed me dirty snow. People may have poured dirt onto your nice, clean, pure snow, but you can extract that. You can get that out. The key is in your ability to observe it and bring it to your awareness without judgment, to accept it and understand it. That's what creates trust. Yeah, they said don't judge yourself. You know, everyone's mad here. And if you're seen as mad in a mad world, then who's really sane here? You know? There's something about the Cheshire Cat. They're telling me, oh, right, the Cheshire Cat was a shapeshifter, and he was kind of like a trickster, but he was also a sort of a guide. But he could become invisible. So there's something here that was in the unseen realms. That's why they have the eyes here. And the cat, they really want you to see something that was in the unseen, something in the subconscious. You know, that's the unseen realm. In the energy realms too, you know, spirit is in the unseen realms. And I was listening to a video today talking about Chiron and its conjunction with I think Uranus or something. Anyway, or no, it was Chiron conjunct the north node. Yeah. So anyway, but what the example that the person was talking about was something about how do we know that wind is there? Wind is unseen. Well, we know it's there because we can feel it, because it has an impact on things around it. We can see the wind moving the trees. We can see the wind picking up the leaves. We can see the wind as it blows our hair, right? But it is something that is invisible. It's unseen. The only way that we truly understand it and believe it's there is through its impact on the environment around it. And this is the same thing with emotions, and especially with repressed emotions. And again, speaking from experience, like I was saying before, how do I know when my emotions are being repressed? Because sometimes it will happen automatically and you won't even notice it. And then all of a sudden it builds up, but you'll notice it as symptoms in the body. So sometimes I'll feel it as like heaviness in my chest. And I'll know, oh, there's some emotions that have just been auto-repressed and I didn't realize it because it's an old mechanism from when I was a kid. Or I'll start to see it showing up in my behaviors or how I think about other people. If I start being a little bit more snappy, if I start being a little bit more critical, even just internally, I'm like, oh, there's some emotions that need to be addressed here. I need to bring something to my awareness, and I'll sit down with myself and work through it. So then I come out of it and I'm happy again. I'm positive and I have nothing but goodwill. So this is what they're talking about here, because any of that ill will creates quote unquote bad luck. They don't want you to fear that. They just want you to bring it to your awareness so you can shift out of that and trust yourself. Trust yourself and trust what you're creating. Because spirit doesn't create your reality. Spirit helps you create your own reality. So the more you trust yourself, the better you're going to get at this. The better you're going to be able to traverse through Wonderland. So go down the rabbit hole of your own self. Ask yourself these questions and you'll get some answers. Okay, let's do not charms. We just did charms. Let's do letters now. So let me just kind of get those out of the way. Like I said, this is going to be a real deep, in-depth reading. Okay, letters. Right away, I saw the word shut. I know, so the way that I use the letters, if you guys haven't seen me use them before, I use them as prompts. You can also use them as well. So look at the letters and find, things that pop out at you. Use your intuition. Trust your intuition and the messages you get as well. But I use kind of like what spirit shows me, not just what's here. So I like move things around and take what we need or whatever. But I was getting the word shut. So it's like there's been something that you have not been wanting to see, because now they're showing me somebody with a blindfold on with their eyes shut. They showed me ostrich with its head in the sand, which is not actually a thing. That's just like an old wives' tale. But it's this metaphor of not wanting to see something, shutting your mind off, shutting down to something, shutting those emotions away. I'm also getting the word house. Again, we don't have all the letters, but, and hose. House, so something about the house that's like the house of the self. Hose reminds me of like turning on the emotions, getting them flowing again. They need to be flowing. We do have the word reek. Repressed emotions will kind of give off a smell. You know what I mean? That if you don't know that garbage is building up, the smell is going to tip you off to it. And that's kind of what I was talking about before. It's like those external symptoms that come out in other ways, either in your body or in your relationships to other people or in how you're thinking about things. So pay attention for those little warning signs, because that will give you the indication of, I need to sit down and open up to myself. Turn on the hose to flush everything out. I'm seeing the word ear. They want you to listen. A and E, that just reminded me of, isn't there a channel like A and E? I don't remember what that is. Yes, a channel, tune to the right channel in your mind. Listen, receive, and trust what you hear. Trust what you see. Trust what you feel. Don't doubt yourself. Just observe it. Don't judge it. Eek. You might be a little bit scared of this. You might be scared to address some of these things that you've shut off, especially if they go way back. It can feel really, I just got the word disheartening, but I was going to say it can feel really overwhelming. Or you may feel like you've already done this work and it can feel disheartening to see like, there's more. But this is a never-ending process. It just keeps going, and we keep cycling and evolving into higher and higher levels of doing this healing work. So it's not linear. It's not like you feel it once and then it's done. It will continue to cycle back, and that's okay. Trust the process. There's an order to this. They're giving me the word rose. Be soft like a rose. Rose healing or rose codes could be significant here as well. They did just give me the word teak, which I think is a type of wood. And they were talking about building, and they gave us hammer and axe. Axes are for cutting down trees, and then hammers are for building things out of that. So it's kind of like there's something that needs to be, they're showing me refining, like a refining process, something of a raw material being made into something that's usable, something you can build with. And they're saying ease. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. Yeah, they said easier. It can be easier. I did just get the word sore as well. They want to ease some kind of pain. Trust, again, that releasing these emotions is going to remove some of that soreness. And I did mention the example of when my emotions can build up and I feel it physically as like tension in the body, heaviness in my chest, pressure. It can even show up as like literal inflammation. And I'll know that something's off, and then my nervous system's all out of whack, and I need to ground, I need to regulate, I need to do some healing. Ask the right questions. Be open to observing these things. They did say EA as well. I was getting AE before, now EA Sports. It's like a gaming thing, video games. Essay. SO. I'm getting the word seer as well. I don't think is that even how you spell it? Anyway, they want you to tune in clairvoyantly, clairaudiently. They said listen, and they're showing us seer, like opening your eyes, looking at things clairvoyantly. Oh, erase, they just said. And they said this, and we've got an eye on the other side here. Erase this. There's something that is painful that you want to erase, but you can't erase it, not without processing it, not without feeling it. Yeah. Yeah, they're showing me like painful memories from the past. I find something that can be helpful is to kind of detach from my human ego perspective of my experiences. Like I will step into like an observer role, step into my spirit form and kind of watch a replay of all of the things that Siobhan has been through. It's kind of like being detached from myself, but lovingly detached. So I'm compassionately holding space for everything that Siobhan has experienced and everything she's been through. And through that, I help her to process things. So it's like be healthily detached from it, but not unhealthily detached where you're like trying to erase it or suppress it or repress it or whatever. Yeah, I think that might be helpful in the circumstance group number 1. Okay, this isn't even in the letters, but they just gave me the phrase, thou art worthy. Thou art worthy. So they want you to know that you're worthy. Yeah, they keep giving me the word reek. Why, Spirit? Did I miss something? Sometimes if I miss something, they bring me back around to it, because there's like a deeper level to the meaning. I'm not getting anything else. I'm asking them, but they're not giving me anything. Sometimes that happens. They just won't elaborate. So maybe it's like a synchronicity or some kind of a symbol for one of you that's watching the reading. Something about reek. Pay attention to synchronicities around that if that comes up. But yeah, they gave me the word sit and ease again. So something about sitting in peace. Maybe that's what helps again to alleviate that The reek of the past, they said. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ah, yeah, there's some kind of a realization that you are going to get. Oh, yeah, I see. You're going to see something. You're going to understand something. It's going to release a lot. It's going to be a relief, it's going to create a lot of ease and peace, and there's going to be more trust from that. They're kind of teasing your curiosity with this reading, group number 1. They want you to go into this with curiosity, with objectivity. Letting yourself feel these things can be challenging, so that's why they want you to do it with the approach or with the intention of understanding yourself better, understanding what happened, why things happened, why things have repeated in the way that they did, why things built up, why you respond this way, why, ask yourself why. Like, no, I just keep getting this message of no judgments. So I feel like you've probably been judged a lot in your life, group number 1, because if this is a tendency that you have to approach yourself with judgment, it's because you internalized that from outside, that you were judged a lot, or that they're showing me it was internalized, yeah. That old system of judgment needs to crumble. That foundation needs to crumble. Look at the lightning bolts here. The lightning always reminds me of activations, new states of consciousness, and exploring different timelines and then converging the ones that really align with your goal at soul level. So this is huge, and you're getting free. I just keep seeing the octopus here, like you're getting free from these entanglements. You're getting free from these emotional attachments that were unhealthy for you, and you're purifying your heart. And then you're able to better swim through the emotions and not sink. Yeah, they just give me a message, sink or swim. If you've got these blocks here, these stone or cement blocks here, it's like you get thrown into the ocean, you're going to sink and you're going to drown. I think that's what the fear is here, is like, if I enter into my emotional realm, I'm going to drown in it. No, I don't think you will. I think you'll be able to swim. Spirit's going to help you swim, they said. And they're showing me somebody breathing underwater. Yeah, so you can go down and you won't drown. You'll be okay. I said state. State. Changing your mental state is what they just said, yeah. And they also gave me the word stare. They're talking a lot about, like, that cat was staring, the way it was like, just stare it in the face, don't back down. There could be fears down there. There could be grief. There could be all sorts of stuff going down on that unconscious level. Stare it in the face, don't back down. You know what I've found also, again, I just keep giving you guys these examples from my own experience because it all feels so relevant to this reading. Any time that I have faced up against some of the darkest parts within myself, or the things that I've experienced, or some of the things that I thought would completely crush me, when I was ready, in divine timing, in divine order, is when I would feel prompted to address those things. You're never going to need to address something before you're ready, okay? So again, trust yourself to know when it's time, and you'll start getting those prompts. You'll start getting those nudges. You'll start feeling it coming up to the surface. It will come out on its own to a degree. And then your job is to sit there and face it. It's to stare it in the face and not back down. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Because when you do that, you overcome what has been keeping you stuck internally, holding you back. They just keep saying, face it, make it happen. Because it's going to change your reality. You're going to see things working out in all these various arenas of your life, because it's all coming from you. You're the creator of your reality. Everything outside of you is a direct reflection of what is going on inside. Very direct. So this is actually going to be super helpful for you, because in staring it down, you're going to be able to recover. That's the energy they're giving me, is recovery. Yeah. You're going to see it. You're going to understand it. Oh, start. Look at that. And star too. Use that inner North Star to guide you. Start now. See it. You will see it. You will understand it. I just got Kiki. We don't have another K, but that could be somebody's name or something of relevance. I'm getting the feeling of that's it. Okay, so I think that's all the messages Spirit wanted to deliver to you, group number 1, on trust, the theme of trust. So for you, it's very much about self-trust, to be able to delve into those emotional sort of waters within you and to swim. You know, you'll be able to swim. You'll be able to see things. You'll be able to recover, and yeah, I just see a lot of healing from this and improvement in all these areas of life. Okay, so that is the reading. I hope that it was helpful. Group number 1, that's always my intention with these readings and this work. That's why Spirit called me to do this, is so that I can help you to unlock certain things within yourself, activate you to different states of consciousness, higher timelines, your most ideal aligned timeline, and empower yourself. So I'm sending you lots of blessings to face, start doing some of this work, face those things in meditation, look within and love yourself unconditionally as God loves you and as I love you. Many blessings, guys. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose this pile or the image I'll put up on the screen here of the person walking into the forest. And the prompt that Spirit actually gave me to generate the image was a person walking into a forbidden forest, specifically the word forbidden. And I'm like, what is a forbidden forest? Why would a forest be forbidden in the first place? I mean, the only reference I have to that is really like Harry Potter, the Forbidden Forest. So I feel like there's something about going into the forest feels like maybe something you feared, or you don't know what's in there and you're a little bit nervous. But there's a very clear path that's guiding you through that forest. And that's why Spirit wants to talk to you about trust today, because it's kind of like, walking that path and being able to trust your fears. So let's get into your reading. This might be a long one, so settle in, get comfy. We've got oracle cards, tarot cards. We're going to get charms, and we're going to do letters as well. So let's take a look. You have, with brave wings she flies. You know what's interesting is that your reading was referenced in one of the images, the cards in group number 1. I actually have it here. Hold on, let me show you. See that image here? It's like it's a forest that looks very similar to the image that you guys chose for group 2. So, and the reason I'm mentioning it just reminded me with this card that you have with brave wings she flies, is because there was a direct quote from group number 1 talking about trusting their wings, trusting your wings. So I can see how Spirit has connected these readings, but it's a slightly different message that I'm getting just, right off the bat for you guys. Group 2 is similar, but it's a little different. So this is you really, like, I see you going into the forest. I see you facing these fears. I see you trusting yourself, trusting your own wings to be able to fly. Like the bird doesn't trust the branch. The bird trusts its own wings. Oh, speaking of birds, you have pets. Okay, you love and understand animals. With brave wings she flies, and pets. And I was seeing the bird cage here. Look. Does somebody here have birds as pets? And they're showing me the path here as well. Okay. Counselor, Archangel Azrael, you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. They said pet therapy in my head. Okay, so something about pets are like therapy, pets as therapy animals. Pets helping you face your fears is what they're showing me. Spirit guides you to the pets that are meant for you. They're showing me like an entire lifetime, different pets coming and going. Yeah, because pets are different souls, right? They're kind of like real life guides that come in and they help us in different ways, and we help them to evolve, and they can be very comforting. Yeah, they're showing me trust between human and animal. Clairsentience, Archangel Raguel, he came up twice in group 1 as well. Notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So clairsentience is being able to feel. I'm clairsentient. That was the first one of my clairs that came online. I have all of them, but I mean, everyone does. We all have all of them. There are certain ones that are stronger than others. Clairsentience for me is very strong. So I feel things in my body. I can feel things that other people are feeling. I can feel things from my environment. I can feel things that are unseen, right? Things in the spirit realm. And I can feel emotions that get stuck in the body too. I can feel the energy of the emotions that get stuck in the body. I was talking about that in group 1. And this is what Archangel Raguel is saying here. So there's some kind of emotional healing that takes place. They said face your fears. Yeah, so this is specifically talking about fears. And the pets, there's something about animals that are helping you to do this. Because pets are very clairsentient. Animals are very clairsentient. They're very connected to their bodies. They're very connected to the root chakra, to the physical world, to the natural kingdom. And this is where clairsentience thrives. This is how we connect to that energetic realm. That's why animals can feel when big events are going to happen, right? Like if there's an earthquake, animals feel it. If there's something going on geomagnetically, animals feel it. It's because they're attuned to that. They're very clairsentient. It's part of their physical instinct. And we have that too. Humans, it's just we've kind of en masse shut it down, but they're saying here you're very clairsentient, group number 2. So trust what you feel in your body. Trust what you feel in your body. And animals for some reason help you to tune into this, or they activate this within you, or they help you regulate your emotions or something like that that allows this clairsentience to open up more. Okay, meaningful sacrifice. Ascended Master Jesus and Rose Sophia, Crystal Master number 333. Meaningful sacrifice. Maybe this is the fear, like facing the fear is the meaningful sacrifice. Going into the unknown, they just said, walking into the unknown. Okay, I'm going to get these bigger cards at the bottom. The Magician, and look at the path. They keep showing me the path. So this feels like a symbol that they want you to pay attention to. You start seeing paths everywhere as a synchronicity. Pay attention to that because it's going to be pointing you in the right direction. That's what they're showing me. There's a very specific path that is kind of laid out for you, and it's going to lead you through the trees. Because I think there's something here that you may have. Your bravery is being tested. That's what they just told me. Your bravery is being tested. And so sometimes when that's the case, it can make it hard to see the way forward. But they're showing me the well in this card. It's like a wishing well. That's what they said. And there's something about your wishes coming true. So if you face your fears, if you walk this unknown forest path, you will have some kind of wishes fulfilled. And the Magician, yeah, he's about manifestation. You can do anything, this card says. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be a success. That's okay. I didn't even look at that. I was looking at the other things here. So there's something about you being able to manifest these blessings in your life, you having this connection to your power, like your own power. And it's through embracing this bravery, taking this kind of risk is almost what it feels like. But it's not a risk. It's what you're called to do. Walking this unknown path. It does take courage, it does take bravery, but this is where the trust comes in. You got to trust yourself to be strong enough to be able to walk this path, create your reality, face those fears, know that you're not walking alone, right? You have those guardians with you. You've got your furry friends, your furry family members. They keep showing me that. Not all beasts who live in the forest are bad, is what Spirit just said. Not all beasts that live in the forest are bad. It's like animals. Yeah, the animals live in the forest. You're very connected to the natural world, group 2. That's what I feel. Queen of Summer, loving, comforting, emotional, intuitive, Queen of Cups energy. Listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust. Taking care of others perhaps too much. I do feel like a loving, nurturing energy, especially like being connected to the natural world and animals. There's a certain level of connectivity that comes from clairsentience that makes you very empathic, very nurturing, very connected because you can feel everything, right? I mean, how can you hurt something or someone when you can feel their pain? You can't. And they're showing me the scene in Fern Gully when the humans are cutting down the trees, and the fairies, look, you've got all these fairies, I just realized in this card. The fairies can feel the pain of the trees, and they're like, can't you feel the pain? So it's like, why? It's very hard to hurt something when you can feel the pain of it. That's why I think empathy and clairsentience are so important to unification on the planet, is because if we can feel the pain of others, we're not going to inflict it. Because why would we hurt ourselves? That other person is ourself. You're connected to the fairy realm. I kept getting that. Nature kingdom, animals, they're all connected to the fairy realm. You're connected to the fairy realm group too. They said use that blessing wisely. And they said fairy council, and you do have the counselor card. Fairy council, they said use that blessing wisely. The fairies help you manifest, they're showing me. The Lovers. And this is like a Beauty and the Beast representation here. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting gentleness. And yet bravery, like Belle. She was beautiful, she was gentle, but she was also really brave. She was willing to take her father's place and be captive of the beast. You know, it was like this meaningful sacrifice. Oh my God. She made a meaningful sacrifice to save her father because she was so compassionate. What? But then that led her down the path of her destiny. Whoa. So interesting. Let's see. 3 of materials. Things being stacked up, braided together. Something, yeah, the path is braiding together. The path is leading you forward. I'm seeing that so clearly. And you're going to feel it. So trust what you feel. They keep giving me this message of trust what you feel, because you're going to feel pulled in a particular direction or called to do a particular thing. And there's a reason for that. There's a very specific reason for that. 7 of inspiration. So you've got the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the 4 of materials, 4 of Pentacles, and the 7 of materials, 7 of Pentacles. Let me get these even here. I don't like it when they're crooked. So there's something about alignment, because I'm fussing over the alignment of the cards. I want them to be, you know, straight. They just said the path isn't straight, and they showed me this path again. It's like it's winding. The path isn't straight. This is why you need to trust your wings, because it's not a straight shot. It's not linear. You can't see where it's leading you. You don't even know what's there along the path. It's in the forest, right? It's like hidden. There's trees, there's obstructions, but there is something that's going to be made clear to you, and you're going to feel it. It's very intuitive, very instinctual. You just feel it in your body. You know what to do. And this clears the way forward for you in a big way. It clears everything up. You start being able to sense, like you get a sense of it. That's what I'm feeling. You get a very clear sense of it, and then you're able to do something. It feels very physical. You have a lot of pentacles, you know, materials, cards, so it's very physical. And the Lovers can talk about a choice, right? It's this meaningful side. It's this choice that you're called to make. A compassionate choice, they told me. And it does translate physically, literally. Like this is, in group 1, we were talking more about like the internal aspects of these things, the emotional stuff. I see a bit of that here, but for you guys, it's more like, okay, you have this instinct, you have this little intuitive nudge or big intuitive nudge, and you're called down this particular path, and you're meant to trust your wings and to take action on it. And then you're going to build something. You're going to create something physically out of that. They said you're going to make something manifest, right? The magician is the manifester. You're going to make something manifest. You're actually going to shift something physically in your life as you walk this path. Your physical circumstances change is what they're showing me. And they showed me this building in the back of this card. kind of reminds me of the tower, but we did have the tower before in group 1, but I'm getting it more like they said your kingdom, and I was thinking more about like a house, like your home, your roots, like where you feel safe. Something about this is going to change in a positive way. You're going to have a kingdom. You're going to have a space that feels like home. Because you made some kind of a meaningful sacrifice towards this goal. You trusted yourself, you sacrificed your fears, or you sacrificed your doubt or something like that. And you listened to the wise counsel of your soul. That's what they just said. You listened to the wise counsel of your soul and you took action. Yeah, they're saying into the unknown, and see how this black and white path is going off into sort of like the void space. So you're definitely meant to kind of follow this path into the unknown. And they're singing, there's a song, Into the Unknown. What is that from? I think that's from Frozen, the second movie. Yeah, Into the Unknown. I don't know why. Oh, right. Because in that movie, Spirit will always use references that I know because they represent archetypal meaning. Stories. I love stories, movies, books, everything. They represent archetypal meaning. And what they're showing me here is that in the movie Frozen 2, the second movie, Elsa follows her instinct. She hears the call and she can't ignore it. She feels the pull and she rides out to answer that call, to understand. She doesn't know what's on the other side of that. There's so much unknown information, but she just feels called to do it. And so she has to pursue it. Okay, let's get charms, because I'm really interested to see what's going to come up from the charms and the letters for you, group number 2. Put these over here. You won't be able to see them in a second. I'll put the thing down. So I'll zoom you in. Okay, so charms for group number 2. They're showing me the snowflake that came up in group number 1's reading. All right, you have the Hydra, the 3-headed dragon. This did come up in group 1. I'm sorry if I keep referencing it and you're not called to that reading. That's fine. It's just my brain's hardwired for associations. But I'm seeing this Hydra here. The 3-headed dragon is like these 3 people here in the 3 of materials. So there's something that's stacking up, something that is building on itself. You have a key and an axe, which I won't mention group 1 again, but yeah, more repeating patterns. Group 1 seems significant, okay? Anyway, key, axe. This one too, the black rose. For you guys, group 2, there's they're showing me a key to a castle. Yeah, they keep showing me the castle. Key to a castle. Woodcutter's axe. Made with love. Something that you're building. You're making it with love. And I see you facing your fears. I'm getting that so strongly. Facing your fears. You've got the butterfly. The pink butterfly is transformation. And innocence too. Like it's sensitivity is what I'm getting actually from this right now. Sensitivity. Oh, look, you have the sister charm. A sister is someone to dream, cry, sing, and laugh with. Oh, it's got the 2 hearts on the other side. That's beautiful. A sister could be important or significant to this. I did just hear sister on the other side. If somebody in this reading has a sister on the other side, they want you to know that they're with you every step of the way and they love you. Yeah. You have the circle moon. They said everything's connected. I heard that really loud. Everything's connected. And you have this other moon as well. And I heard in the dead of night, this instinct will come. Actually, I was going to talk about the love charm, but I'll get to that in a sec. You have the angel wings. Yeah, it feels like you're very protected. They're talking a lot about wings here again. So it's like trusting your wings, trusting your power, trusting the angels, trusting the divine, your loved ones, potentially a sister on the other side for somebody in this group. That's interesting. I can interpret, I've never seen this charm come out before. So that's a first. But this reminds me of a coffin, but it also kind of looks like a shield. So I feel like you're being protected from something, and they did say dead of night. Protected. Well, I mean, I can translate that literally like someone who is dead, someone who has passed to the other side is protecting you. I was getting that from the sister charm, but yeah, I think it goes deeper than that. They said lunar matrix protection, so if you guys are familiar with that, there's like a code in there for you. You're protected from it. Live your dream. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to be building something, you're creating something, and your dreams are coming true physically. Like they were showing us the wishing well before, right? So it's like you're manifesting something, you're wishing for something, you've dreamed it, and you're dreaming it into reality, and you're going to love it. They said keep your heart open, and look at the O in love is like this heart shape, and it's open like that. So keep your heart open, because I think that's how you see this, or that's how you get the information, or that's how you feel pulled. The eye, I'm getting like all-seeing eye, so keep, they said keep a weathered eye on the horizon. It's like keep your eyes peeled, stay open-minded and hearted, and you're going to really see things unfold here. What's this? Oh, the cat on a branch. It can represent going out on a limb. I'm getting follow your dreams from this as well, and you've got live your dream. Yeah, so follow your dream, going out on, taking a risk, a meaningful risk to follow your dream. You might not see this path leading to that right away, but there's something that you're going to be called to do which will lead to that path of your dreams unfolding. But it's like kind of, it's like you don't necessarily see it yet clearly, but there's an instinct, there's a pull. Because they keep saying into the unknown, so you're kind of like taking a leap of faith here. The unicorn, purification. I'm getting innocence from this as well. It feels like it goes with the sister energy. Innocence. It's like a child almost. I don't know if this sister was young or is young, or maybe you had an unborn sister. For someone, I did just get that message of an unborn sister. Like maybe your parents... maybe your mother had a miscarriage, or that's interesting. Okay. But yeah, there's like a spirit child that protects you, group number 2. A female spirit child. Wow. Okay, you have the white cloud. This can represent not seeing the way forward. Like things are clouded. There's some kind of lack of clarity, but I think that I'm also getting that message of the heaven realms. Yeah, so you're being guided even though you don't see the way. They just keep making that so clear. Oh, look, you have this sheep, and I heard counting sheep in my head as soon as I turned it over, and then live your dream. So that this could even be something that you are literally dreaming about. You have the little tree. So cute. They showed me somebody picking apples. Now they're showing me Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz walking along the yellow brick road. Yeah, follow the yellow brick road. And that whole thing is a dream. But they're showing me her the scene when she's picking the apples off the trees. And the trees are like, ow. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were alive. Because where she comes from, trees don't, talk. Weren't we talking about trees before feeling pain? Was that in this reading? Yeah, it feels relevant. Okay. We've got the sparkles. I'm getting magic. Something magical is happening here, group number 2. Something very magical. You don't necessarily see it yet, but it's manifesting. It's taking form. They're showing me the fairy godmother from Cinderella. A lot of fantasy references in this group. Yeah, there's something about magic manifesting. You had the magician card, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there. And the red butterfly. I feel like you're going to be faced with a challenge, group number 2. And you're going to rise to that challenge. You're going to meet that challenge. What they showed me was the scene from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, when Aragorn goes into like the dead passage, and it's like the way is shut. It was built by the dead keep it. The way is shut. So there's something about, and it was like nobody wants to go in there. It was like the most feared place because it was all these like treacherous dead ghost beings. But because Aragorn was like the true rightful king, he could control them, or he could at least give them an incentive to let them be controlled because he could free them. So there's something about like doing the right thing. And in doing so, you have to kind of walk this path that does feel a little bit unnerving or scary, or feels like, you know, your mind is going to tell you don't walk this way, but your heart is, your intuition, your instinct is going to tell you, yes, this is the way, like this is the call. We have to do this, and it will work out well. After I said it will work out well, they showed me the well. Literal well. It will work out well. The wishing well. The spirit's got a real sense of humor, you know. They like puns. I like puns, so that's probably why. But yeah. Lipstick. I heard putting something on. Getting ready. Putting something on, getting ready. Made up. They said made with love, made. Okay, what is that? Yeah, you're putting something together. You're getting yourself ready to do this, or yeah, they drew my attention to the word dream on this card, or on this charm as well, dream. They're talking a lot about dreams here. You're getting ready to make your dreams a reality, they just said. Manifesting your dreams. Yeah, they keep saying that. So let's see if we can get more information from the letters. Yeah. Okay, so the way I use the letters is just as prompts. Sometimes Spirit will give me a word and then I'll see it spelled out, or vice versa. Other times it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just a fun game. So if you guys see letters or words in here as well that are significant, trust your intuition as well. That's what the whole reading is about, is literally trusting your intuition. 10, I just unconsciously spelled that. So 10, I heard 10 months in my head. But the number 10 could be significant as well, like 10 coding. Yeah, they did give me the word vine. I heard it and I saw it prompted from V, and then we do have all the letters for it. So something about vine. I'm not sure what that's about. Rasp. And goes. JS could be somebody's initials or something, but I'm getting rasp is like, it's like when your voice is raspy. And they're showing me vine again. Okay, there's something I missed about vine. Goes. Yeah, you're meant to go somewhere, do something. Even if your voice is raspy, I think that you're meant to like speak up on something. The vine reference, they're showing me ivy, like ivy vines, but they also showed me like grapevines, like a vineyard. And I was getting raspberry from rasp as well. So something about like grapes and raspberries. What? Food could be significant. A 10-year-old could be significant. I just got that message. Somebody was or is 10. Yeah, I see the word nest. The birds, right? The birds in the trees. They were talking about birds before. And I see the word vent. I vent. Venting something. Getting airflow. Jester. Jesters make people laugh. And gone. Maybe somebody died who made you laugh. Somebody who was silly or funny. Yeah, they're showing me the word pain. I was going to say it would be like a pain around the loss of this person that may have been significant. Or even an aspect of yourself. But I was also getting pain as in pain in the ass. They gave me that phrase. I'm like, what? Somebody who was silly, maybe was a pain in the ass, but you loved them, or they're gone. And I was also getting the word vain, and you just have the lipstick. So I think this is like overcoming maybe some kind of vanity or poking fun at yourself to alleviate some of that ego fear around maybe being seen, because I feel like you living your dream is going to make you visible, group number 2. SP, significant person. SOP, though, they were showing me SOP. SOP? What is that? It feels like an acronym, but I don't know that acronym. SOP. Not SOB, son of a bitch. No, SOP, what is that? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, they showed me gains. There's going to be significant gains, whatever this is. POS. Okay, well, that one is piece of shit. No. They're just joking. Like, they're joking around here. There's something about, like, joking around. I kid. Yeah, pest. I'm getting, like, sibling vibes. I mean, we did have the sister card, and it's like, like siblings, they pester each other. They poke fun at each other. They're annoying. They annoy each other, but there's love. There's always love there. So, well, most of the time anyway, there's love there. So I did see rest as well. They just showed me rest. My stomach's grumbling. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. I haven't eaten breakfast. Why do I do this? I just feel a pull to do readings, and I'm like, I need to do it now. Oh, sins, they said. What? Something about sins, like sacrificing. They did say eternal rest. What is this? Because you got that coffin, eternal rest. It's like eternal rest of the soul. I think something that you're meant to do, group number 2, it helps you to gain something at soul level that gives you eternal rest. It's like you're able to let go of something, trusting this process, like this leap of faith. For some reason, there's something about it that clears stuff out for you. I see the word post. They gave that to me, and then they showed me the letters post. Could be male. It could be like male, and it could be masculine energy, like MALE. But I was saying male as in, like, getting something in the mail. Yeah, they said gains again. So there's something you might gain. There could be a letter coming in. They did give me the word van. A van could be significant. And they said reside. We don't even have the letters for that, but reside. That's like where you live. Living in a van? Well, you wouldn't have post if you live in a van. No, you wouldn't. Because you don't have a home address. Something about a home address. They are showing me jeans. Pants. And they did give me the word jinn earlier, and I forgot to mention it, so they brought me back to it. Jinn could be significant. pine trees. Gin always reminds me of pine trees because it tastes like pine trees. But it could be to do with the alcohol itself. Maybe someone who wore jeans a lot, liked to drink a lot of gin. What? They said reserve as well. Again, we don't have the word, the letters for it, but they gave me the word reserve. I did just see the name Janice as well. It's not spelled properly, but Janice. And they said gone again. And the word stop. They are giving me the word retire. Yeah, I don't have all the letters for it, but they gave me that retire. They showed me the R-E-T, and then they showed me the word, and then, yeah. So they showed me the post again. Okay, so something like posting something could be online as well. Like, it doesn't have to be about mail, like making a post about retirement or retiring from something, ending something to follow your dreams, perhaps, going on a vacation, like, because you keep getting the word gone. Packing up some clothes, going in a van and following your dreams. That path could be like literally traveling. Veneer. Veneer, it's another E, but veneer. That's like the covering of something. There's a thin veneer, and they just showed me the word tin as well. A veneer of tin? And they said goes again. And I heard that's the way she goes. And that's like, who is that? I think that's Randy's dad or somebody's dad in Trailer Park Boys. And we were getting vans. So is this like living in a trailer park, or that's just the way she goes? Stint. Somebody has a stint. What is that, a stint? It can mean like a brief stint, like a brief stint of living in a van or living in a trailer park, or they are saying making a sacrifice again, and they showed me the vein and veneer, so it's like removing some kind of an ego around maybe like retiring and scaling down to live your dream, to travel. It's like maybe living in a smaller house so that you can travel or afford to do something else, or to afford to pursue some kind of a goal. And they keep giving me POS again. Point of sale. That's when I worked in the service industry, the computer where we would enter in all of the orders was the point of sale, the POS system. Maybe you're selling your home. This could be the sacrifice that's being made. Or selling a vehicle. Yeah, they gave me the word vent again. So something about a vent. Venter. Could even renter, like you may selling a house to rent, and it's like a step down, and it feels, they said stir, it's like stirring the pot. And they're bringing me back to pets again. I forgot about that we were talking about pets with the cards, but they showed me that card in my head. And they're like, put it all together. Okay, so maybe like selling a house or moving out of a rental house to follow your dreams, maybe becoming mobile, and your concern is about your pets. How are you going to bring your pets with you? They're saying that there's going to be a way that they go with you. They are showing me tent. What? Camping? Like going camping? They're showing me rigorous testing. I know I'm not going to even bother trying to figure out if there's the word, but they gave me the phrase rigorous testing. And they're saying ops, like opportunities or oppositions. I think maybe like other people might feel like an opposition, but I'm getting it like opportunities, opportunities that you will get. You're going to get something. And 10 is back again. Something about the number 10. Yeah, they are giving me 10 months. Again, something about 10 months. Maybe it's like a brief stint of living in a vehicle, or maybe you've been living in a vehicle for 10 months, or maybe you've been living in the current rental place where you're at 10 months, or you're in 10 months, you're going to be moving. I'm not sure how to put this together, but yes, they said stir again. So Oh my God, my stomach. They did just say, they said job. We don't have a B, but they said job. Maybe you're getting offered a new job, or you're making a sacrifice, quitting a job. They did give us the word retire, so quitting a job to go do something else, stirring the pot up. And it gets messy, but it's like you taking this leap of faith, trusting yourself, figuring it out. There's freedom. I feel like you're going to be sending something. Maybe it is something in the mail. Sending and receiving post. They said rest in peace. Maybe you're getting something from somebody who died, or there's messages that are coming in sent to you from a crossover loved one. We did get that message with the sister, possibly someone else, but it's like someone on the other side. They said guess who. We don't have the letters for it, but they said guess who, and that's reminding me of the game from like the 90s, the 80s, 90s, Guess Who? You had to guess who the person was by ruling out. It was like process of elimination. So you'd ask the question, do they have glasses? Do they have brown hair? Are they male or female? And you'd have to like guess because you know who they are, but you don't know who it is. Okay, so you have to guess who this person is, group number 2. Joe? JSTOR. What is that? That's something I used to use, JSTOR. Isn't that like a search engine? There's something about like the internet here. And they just gave me the word gestate. So something is being born. Maybe this is a sister that's being born. Maybe you get news in the mail that a sister's being born, an unborn, because they did say unborn before, but I was thinking maybe it's somebody had passed away, but maybe somebody's being born. One person goes out, one person comes in. Oh, or the soul of someone else who left comes back in. And they're sent to you to help you on your path, huh? Vest. Vest and jeans. What is this about the clothing? They keep bringing me back to clothing. Song. And they said rest again. Okay, so maybe this is taking a break to pursue music. That could be the dream, or this is like something, maybe somebody liked to sing or make songs. They just said, just listen. Okay, let me just listen then. Well, I think it's also a message for you, group number 2, to just listen. Listen to that inner calling, but, pin. Oh, we do have an N over here. I'll use that one instead. Pin. Pin your location. Yeah, it does feel like there's something to do with travel. Oh, and pine. Didn't pine come up with gin? Yeah, it did. Something about pine forests, traveling through the forests. Yeah, they're showing me like a camper van. So maybe going camping, or they did give us the word tent. They're showing me like a VW old hippie van driving through the sequoia forest. I don't know where that is, maybe in California, or I know we have some awesome pine trees up here in British Columbia, but yeah, there's something about the forests, traveling, a van, renting something, packing, rest, maybe going on a vacation. Yeah, did you see the word rose? Did that come up earlier in this reading, or was that in group number 1? I can't remember now. Rose and goes. Rose could also be pining for something, right? Like wanting something really badly. It's like this was a wish that you've been trying to manifest for a long time, and it's becoming available to you. You're going to go for it. That's what it feels like. That's like goes again, right? Like you're going to go for it. You're there she goes, or there he goes. And I think some people are going to be confused about this decision. I am getting this feeling from other people being like, why are you doing that? But it's like, you just know, right? Like you just feel it and I did use the example of when animals feel something and then they move, right? Or they go to a different location, or they start getting out of the way. It's like, you're going to be avoiding something harmful. You're going to make a meaningful sacrifice that leads you on this positive path, that leads you to your dreams, or the fulfillment of your dreams. It helps you to it feels North Node, it feels destined, it feels like you're moving on a path that is meant for you, could have to do with travel, change in living situation, being connected to people on the other side. But I think you're also going to meet people, or you're going to hear about something in the mail or through social media, because they're showing me posts again. But it's going to be very healing for your soul, even though it will initially feel challenging because it's like a leap of faith and there's maybe a lot of changes that are needing to be made physically, practically. They said practically implement change. Yeah, there's some kind of like hoops you need to jump through or things you need to do. But yeah, they're showing me a to-do list. Yeah, you got a big to-do list of things to do. Write it down, plan it out. When you get this nudge, maybe it's not now, I don't know, but could be 10 months from now, because we did get that word 10 coming up several times. So could be 10 months from now that you're going to be going on some kind of an adventure. And they want you to just feel it. And then when you get that nudge, you do it. It's going to be restful for the soul. I keep getting that restful for the soul. They said rogue. We don't have the words for it, but rogue. Something about like going rogue, you know? Just free, just gonna be free. Who knows? I mean, take what resonates, of course, always, but there's a lot here, so pick through it. But I just heard Ezra. Stint, and they said, yeah, stint again. Stint and juvie. Juvie. I heard that in my head, and then I said JV. The penal system. Maybe somebody had issues as a teenager or as a kid. Or this was a peer, somebody you know. Maybe a sore spot for this person or for you. This could be somebody you meet. A person, yeah, they said it's a person. Yeah, they are. They're showing me a person who did a brief stint in juvie as a kid. This person is a real son of a bitch. What? Who is this? What? Why are we getting this, spirit? What is this about? They're a real G. They're a gangster. But I think this person is like funny. I don't get like aggressive or negative energy from this person if they feel like a funny person. They've been through some shit, but I feel like they kind of take it in stride. They don't have a chip on their shoulder. They're not vain. They're humble. They're giving me like Trailer Park Boys energy again, and it's like the Trailer Park Boys, like well, that's such a funny show. They're always like scheming to try and like make money to get out of the trailer park, but they always end up back in jail again, and it's like because they're doing illegal stuff to try and, you know, so they do a stint, and then but it's like normal for them. They're like, it's fine, and they're funny. So I don't know. There's something about that. Maybe a person who's like that is significant to this story or to this journey. They gave me the word vest again. So something about maybe this person wears vests and it's very noticeable, or they're showing me a bulletproof vest. So they could have had problems with the law, like police wear bulletproof vests. PJ. I don't know. I think I'm going to call it on this reading group number 2, because I could just go on forever, but we're already at like almost an hour, and I don't really know what to make of it. There's clues. There's definitely clues here that Spirit's wanting to give you. So just take what resonates, or leave some of this stuff in sort of the back of your mind and see what unfolds. And maybe at the time it'll make sense if it shows up later in your life. Or in the next 10 months or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then I will do breakfast, lunch, brunch, and then I'll do group number 3's reading. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate your support of my work here on the channel. I hope these readings are helpful for you, and they give you clues, synchronicities, healing, information, confirmation, validation, whatever it is you're needing from Spirit. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose this pile, or the image of the man looking at the clock. And the prompt that Spirit gave me to generate this image was somebody who continues to keep checking the time. And this reading is about trust. So when it comes to checking the time, this can come from a lack of trust, maybe even impatience, but I'm getting it more like not necessarily impatience, like you're waiting for something, although that could be part of it. I'm feeling more intuitively that this is something that it's like an anxiety response. Like, let me check the time. Am I on time? Am I going to be late is kind of what it feels like. So let's take a look at your cards. This is going to be a long reading today. We have oracle cards, tarot cards. We're also going to do charms and letters. So get comfy, settle in, and let's take a look at what Spirit wants to talk about. So we have be in love with your life. The word enclosure here is really standing out to me. Enclosure. So I'm getting this sort of suffocated feeling, just clairsentiently, like it feels like I'm in a box right now and kind of like being pressed in on all sides. It feels like time is pressuring you. Yeah, I think that's why I was getting that message of like anxiety or feeling literally pressed for time. Oh my God, that's so funny. Spirit will do things like that. Like they'll use turns of phrases or puns and things like that to get messages across because it's all symbolic. So feeling literally pressed for time. Okay. Family culture. Learn more about your family's stories and history. This could be referring to understanding your ancestry or your lineage. But what I'm actually getting here is that the feeling of being pressed for time may have come from like the culture in your family. Maybe you had family members who were always late or who were always checking the time because it felt like it's like maybe they felt like things took too long, or maybe they were constantly kind of tapping their watch and looking at you and saying like, why aren't you where you need to be by this time in your life? Something like that. That's what it feels like. So something that you've kind of had to deal with for a long time externally. Career transition. I was having a feeling of like, am I on time? Is it past my time or my prime, or have I like lost the opportunity? This is what Spirit wants to talk about in terms of trust, because you don't have to necessarily be at a certain stage in life by a certain age. You don't have to be doing what you think you should be doing based on like the where you're at. Okay, what I'm trying to say is with the career transition card, this can talk about being like Spirit saying, just trust you're not pressed for time. If you don't feel like you're where you should be right now in your life or in your career, or maybe because of pressure from your family or just some kind of internalized belief system around that, they're saying, no, everything is unfolding in divine timing. It doesn't matter your age. You could be 7 or you could be 70. It doesn't matter. There's always divine timing to it, and each soul is very unique. And the divine timing around it is so specific and so synchronized that it cannot be rushed. It cannot be pushed. But I'm getting this feeling like there's something about your life where you feel like maybe it hasn't panned out the way you hoped by the age that you are now, or maybe you had other ideas about this, but they're showing me the eyes of this angel, Archangel Shamuel. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change, and the eyes look very compassionate and alive to me right now. I don't know if it'll come through on camera, but just the way I'm seeing it, I can feel the energy of Archangel Shamuel coming through the card. And this is about this career change that's part of your life transitioning. It's like you being in love with your life and not giving up on some kind of a dream simply because you think it's too late, or because you're pressed for time, or because of external pressures. Hello from heaven, Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. I definitely feel the angels around you, group number 3. I was getting that so strongly from Shamuel, just being like physically there, seeing through the eyes. The eyes are the window of the soul. The candle just went out. Let's replace it. The candle going out can represent the end of something and the beginning of something else. I've talked about this before in other readings when this has happened. The candle will go out because it's signifying that something is ending or needs to end so that something new can be lit. And the candle will go out when it's meant to go out. Maybe whether it's a life, people who pass over, or it's a way of living, a state of being, a career. There's all sorts of different deaths in life, and it's not always literal. But this symbolic changing of the light is representative, I think, of this transition that's going on in your life right now, group number 3, or is about to, or you felt called to, and spirit angels specifically are around you, helping you through this. They want you not to worry about this, because that's what I was getting from like checking the time constantly. It's like anxiety or worrying that you've missed your chance or that it's not going to happen or something like that. And the angels are really saying like the more you let go of this old belief system, the more you let go of this programming or this indoctrination is actually the word that they gave me, the easier this is going to get for you to really pursue what you feel is best for you in your life. And I think that it's never going to be taken off the table. If something is for you, it is for you. It doesn't matter when, but there is always specific timing around it. Maybe you have to learn certain things before that, or there's some kind of like karmic steps that you have to walk first. But if something is meant for you, it is for you. And if you have a dream about something, or if you have a sense of a purpose around something, or you have a pull or call towards something, there's a reason for that. Not always the one that you think, but there's always a reason for it. Archangel Metatron and clear quartz power, crystal angel number 444. Yeah, so many angels. Angel energy is really significant in your reading, group number 3. The archangels are definitely with you. They support you, is what Spirit just said. The archangels, they are supporting you in your mission. And I think some kind of a career transition is part of that, and stepping into power. Now, when I think of power, this reminds me of the gift of divine power. When I used to do soul realignment readings, the gift of divine power is about free will. It's about doing things your own way. It's also about being in a position of leadership or responsibility for yourself and your life, and taking the lead so that you can have more opportunity for freedom through your choices. So I feel like you being in love with your life really correlates closely to freedom. So feeling free from the pressures of time, or free from the pressures or expectations of different family cultures or societal cultures, and releasing any of those internalized indoctrinations, really, and being able to just live your life for what brings you joy, because that's what the purpose is at soul level. It's not about the expectations or the ego or the titles or whatever. It's not about the timing. In that sense, it's about you being able to embrace what feels right for you, and whatever stage of the game that happens to be at, it is divinely meant for you. So stepping back into your power here is going to help you to trust this process, is what I'm getting, because it's going to create an internal sense of security where there's less anxiety about, am I doing something wrong, or have I missed my chance, or is this ever going to happen? Instead, you're going to feel more connected to what you want to be doing and why that's important, how that feels to you. And I think that this is going to necessitate or create an opportunity for some kind of transition. It doesn't mean you have to quit a job and start another one. It just could mean that you're shifting, you're changing some kind of an approach to life, or your approach to work in general. You have a lot of support on the other side. Okay, interesting. You got the 8 of Summer. This is the 8 of Cups energy. The desire for a more meaningful life. Yes, realizing that it's time to move on and choosing to make major life changes. This is what they're talking about here. And it doesn't matter. They keep giving me this message of it doesn't matter how old you are. And I know that, generally speaking, the statistics, the demographic of my channel is, I think, between 20 to 35. That's the highest proportion of people who watch my videos. But I know that there's a few of you who have commented in your 60s or 70s. And Spirit is saying it does not matter how old you are. You can have what it is that you feel called to and what you're desiring. It's just Can you trust that? Can you let go of the anxiety or the worry or the hopelessness? Because those are the only things that push it away. Those are the only things that obstruct. And can you surrender to the process of what stepping into your power would actually look like, and the steps necessary to start implementing that? The Eight of Summer is the Eight of Cups, so this is about walking away from something. So it could be quite literally leaving a job, starting something else, or living in an entirely different way. It's a big shift, and it's all about your purpose. And your purpose is not necessarily directly linked to career, although that can be a conduit through which it expresses. Your purpose is to enjoy your life. Your purpose is to answer the call of spirit. Your purpose, in this case, group 3, is to trust. So this is where you kind of have to make a decision, group 3. Do you want to follow where your heart is calling you? Are you going to trust that? And can you release some of the expectations of the ego around how or when these things should show up? And can you just let it be? Can you trust? And trust is not impatient. If there is impatience there, then that's not trust. I hear a lot of people saying something, well, I've been patient. And it's like, well, if you're even saying that, then you're not. Because you wouldn't, if you were truly patient, you would not be saying, I've been patient. You would just be patient. You would trust that it's happening. It's going to happen. It's like an expectation almost, it's like letting go of the attachment to when and how and just being like, yeah, it's coming. I don't know how, but I'm gonna follow my intuitive hits. The Eight of Summer, Eight of Cups is like you following where your heart is calling you, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it causes you to have to change some things or break free from some obligations or expectations that you've placed on yourself or that other people have placed on you. The Death card. Release, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities and time to move on. It cannot get any clearer than this. I mean, we are going to get clearer than this. We have so much more to do here in this reading, but I mean, come on, group 3. It's very obvious here. I can see it, and you can feel it. I mean, I know you can feel it if you were drawn to this reading. This has been an inclination, is what they just told me at soul level. It's been an inclination that's been coming up for a while, or you've probably been seeing some signs about like death, release, letting go, endings, walking away, doing something different. And the trust is really the pivotal aspect of this whole process, because it takes trust to let go. It takes trust to detach. It takes trust to surrender. And the Death card does require you to surrender, because something does have to end for something else to come in, or something else to be born from it. We have to let go of that old candle and put in the replacement, because it's time, and sometimes we get attached to things being the way that they were. But there's a transition here that's happening, and Spirit just said, okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They said it's inevitable. So, I mean, if we look at that in a positive way, inevitable is a good thing, right? If this is something you want, then hearing it's inevitable is kind of like ominous positivity, It's inevitable. You can't avoid it. Good things are coming. It's already done. It's just like that. But I think for some of you, this is also going to be kind of like there's fear around letting go, even though this is something that's desired at soul level or something that is destined. It's like sometimes the ego can form attachments to certain ways of doing things, even if they're not good for us. It's, the devil is better than the devil you don't type of behavior or type of mindset. And it's not anything against you or anyone else who's in that. It's very human. We're all human. We're playing this human game, and that's just kind of part of the game. But it can be released. You can let that go, but it definitely takes trust. Ooh, 10 of coins. This definitely feels like career. I mean, you have the career transition card. The 10 of coins is a legacy. It's what you're leaving behind. It's what you came here to do. And in this case, it's building a firm foundation. I was getting that from the number 444 here in the Crystal Angel number. So there's a firm foundation that is being built up here, and it takes time. That's another thing. So if you're kind of impatient watching the clock, the 10 of Pentacles takes a lifetime. And you can see that here. Ten of Coins also talks about family culture. You can see it's the generations card. So it's like the grandfather, the son, and then the grandchildren. There's generations that have been built up here. And this can be about generational wealth and what you leave behind. Maybe even releasing attachments to having a legacy to leave behind, or having something like that, right? It's okay. This is kind of associated to this message, but it does feel like a little bit separate, but I'm going to bring it through anyway because that's what Spirit's telling me to do. You don't have to leave a legacy. Like this is an interesting concept, okay? Humans have this fear of impermanence, right? It's like through history, through all of our culture, it comes from the ego, because the ego is separate and sees itself as finite, which it kind of is. But there's this attachment to leaving a legacy, whether it's having children or doing something great, right? Like leaving your mark on the world. But you don't have to do that, because at soul level, you just living, like you could live the most boring, mundane, never did anything life, and you would still leave a mark. First of all, because there's ripple effects and your presence does make a difference and that kind of thing, but also because you are alive. You are living a life. That is the legacy, is that your soul has the experience. That's the legacy. Doesn't matter if nobody ever remembered your name here on earth, you still have a legacy. And everything's imprinted into the Akashic record. It will never be forgotten. It's permanent and it's infinite. So I think like letting go of this idea that we need to make our mark and our name needs to be known, or we need to have like some kind of biological, it's like, it's just, that's ego play. And if you're on the spiritual journey, which you are, because you've got this angelic support big time here, so the angels don't get involved to this degree unless you are an evolving soul. What you're meant for here is to just be. Like it doesn't matter what you do. You're just meant to be in love with life. The simplest things can be a legacy. Smelling a flower can be a legacy, because you've just experienced something beautiful and finite that is also permanent, that will last forever. Muse of Voices. I just feel like freedom is really important. Freedom is so important for you, group number 3. Awakening. This is the Judgment card. Yeah, and I do feel like you have a bigger calling, okay? Like, despite everything that we just said, me and Spirit, despite everything that was just said there, it does feel like you have some kind of a purpose or a mission. But the whole reason why detaching from the egoic attachment to that is important is because that helps you trust the process. And it takes the pressure off, group number 3, because it doesn't really matter other than, are you feeling aligned? Are you enjoying your life? Are you having a good time? It doesn't have to be always good, but generally speaking, are you in love with life? That's what matters. That's the legacy. The Emperor. And I'm seeing leadership, okay? I was feeling that from the Power card, career transition. You're meant to be in a leadership position. So whether it's being like the matriarch or patriarch of a family, or being a boss, being a business owner, it's going to vary from person to person, but leadership is leadership is leadership. And that's what your soul is here to do. I think that's why the archangels are so heavily involved in this process for you, group number 3, because you are, first of all, let me just say you're a powerful soul, okay? And that's why you have this higher calling. But like I said, even if you did nothing, it would still be good. 9 of materials. Wow. 10. Okay, you have the 10 of coins, which is the 10 of pentacles. You have the 9 of materials, which is the 9 of pentacles. Both of these talk about wealth. And I did mention stopping and smelling a flower, and that would be a legacy. And I always think of like stopping and smelling the roses with the 9 of pentacles. So again, this is you embracing your life. And through that, there's some kind of a fulfillment of your destiny. There is a career transition into an empowered position that will leave a legacy and will leave you very happy and secure as well. Not just financially, not just like success-wise, but also in your experience of life. That's really what matters. Loving your life. They did just say, keep the dream alive. So for those of you who have been hesitant to pursue this or feeling like you're pressed for time, or like time is closing in on you or running out, they want you to know that, first of all, that's not the case, because if you were meant to do it in the past, then it would have been done. It's inevitable. They keep giving me that energy of inevitability. So it's like, it's not something, when it comes to destiny, it's not something you can avoid. You can't screw it up. So if it's meant to happen, it will. And if it's not meant to happen, it won't. And it doesn't matter either way. And that's what trust can help you to let go of, is the attachment to which way it's meant to be. But I got to tell you, just from the cards, okay, and just from like what I'm feeling, they're talking about letting go and detaching from the physical expression of what this is, but at the same time, I do see that there is a big destiny here. Okay, let me just say, there's a big destiny here. You got stuff to do, and again, it doesn't matter your age. You're gonna do it. Just got to release some of these. Yeah, they keep giving me these attachments. You release some of these attachments, these ideas, or like the stereotypical limiting beliefs. Like that's what I'm seeing here is these types of mental traps that are keeping you stuck in this fear, worry, anxiety, doubt, etc., which is the opposite of trust, right? But so much power here, and divine power. In the traditional tarot, the awakening card is the judgment card, and the judgment card has Archangel Gabriel, another archangel, coming out of the clouds with a trumpet, calling for a rebirth. So you've got death, rebirth, awakening, the pursuit of your destiny, following your heart, moving on to better things, better and bigger things, starting something new. Muse of Voices. I'm pretty sure this is the page. Yeah, Page of Voices. So Page of Swords, and it's like starting something new that you've not done before, or doing something in a new way. But I'm seeing with career transition, it could be something brand new. They said you're never too old to start over. Yeah. This was actually a message they were bringing through for me today and yesterday. They said it's never too late to have firsts. They showed me that quote 3-4 times from different shows, an ad on my Spotify, like a movie that I went to, it was referenced, like literally just over and over and over for the past 2 days. They're saying it's never too late to have firsts. And I always pay attention to these synchronicities. Obviously, I write them all down, and that's how we communicate with Spirit. But I like to see how this plays out in the readings as well, because Spirit will give me messages for you guys even before the readings and after too, and obviously during. But I'm seeing like this is a message directly for you, Group 3, and they were bringing it through for me too. I feel like I'm in this group because I'm 35. I'm going to be 35 in 2 weeks, and people still mistake me for being in my 20s, but I'm not. And I feel like maybe I should have been at a different place in my life right now. But no, when I tune into my soul, I'm like, no, I am right on schedule. And so are you, Group 3. Right on schedule. And it's never too late for firsts. There's a lot of really beautiful firsts that are coming. And you're going to remember those, not just in this lifetime, but beyond, right? Like into your soul's development and evolution. There's a lot of firsts in this life that are going to carry over, and that's part of the legacy, like I was saying before. So let's get charms, and then we'll do letters. Let me zoom you in. Okay. Charms for Group 3. Charms. Oh, that's a lot. That's okay. as I was like mixing the charms and I was going charms, charms, it felt like in the old Robin Hood movie, the Disney one with like the animals. He's like alms, alms, alms for the poor. And it's Robin Hood in disguise, and he's pretending to be a beggar person, but really he's, he's going to liberate some money from the rich to give to the poor. So there's something about like having a bigger purpose, and you may have disguised yourself so well, group number 3, that you are underestimating yourself. You might see yourself as this lesser thing, but that was a disguise for one particular phase of your life, of your mission. And now the disguise is going to come off, and you're going to be revealed for this amazing soul that you are and what you can do. Very talented. The idea of Robin Hood, and in that movie, he's like super talented. He's the best shooter. He's got a good heart. He's in integrity, so, and he frees people. So there's something about that as well. And you've got the dragon. Power. Again, power. Like, you have so much power. I don't think you're fully aware of this, group 3. They said that you've seen a modicum of it. That's the word they used, modicum. You have seen a modicum of your power, but it's like the tip of the iceberg, like the very, very, very tip of the iceberg, like the ice cube at the top of the iceberg. That's what they're showing me clairvoyantly. It's like this teeny tiny little chip of ice at the very, very, very tippy top, and you've got all this other power that you are not even aware of. Oh my God. Wow. Forever. This is what I was saying before. It's like this goes on forever. This is not, you don't have a limited amount of time. There are certain things that are based on timing, but that's in divine timing. And that's, again, it's like, if you just relax and trust, it actually helps it work better. But things that are destined will just happen anyway. So just get out of your own way. You versus you. Like, get out of your own way, group number 3, because you know what you're doing. Your soul knows what it's doing. You got to trust yourself. I think that's the biggest thing here, is you trusting your soul, you trusting this power that you have within you, and not doubting that, because the more you believed the distortion of the mask that you wore, or the role that you wore, or what was placed upon you, it's like the less you trusted your path. But they're showing me that they said all will be revealed. Oh, okay. All will be revealed. All will be revealed. We have Paris here. Yeah, Paris. I don't know. I don't remember my French, and that's probably too small for you guys to read, so I don't know what that says. But something about a tour of the Eiffel Tower, something about Paris could be significant. You have the heart tree. This reminds me of family. And I did hear close to home. Somebody in this group may be from Paris, or may move to Paris. I love you to the moon and back. I heard step into your power. The phrase "I love you to the moon and back" is sort of related to time, because that phrase comes from, I've read somewhere, I don't know if this is true, but the amount of heartbeats you have in your life would be, if stretched out, would go to the moon and back. So when you say "I love you to the moon and back" to someone, it's like you're saying "I love you for life, for my whole life, for all the time that I'm here, forever." No way. Oh my freaking God, you guys. You have 2. I love you to the moon. You have 2. Silver and gold. Somebody's letting you, I'm feeling like, this makes me think of actually my ex-boyfriend, and his mom would say that to him, and he would say that to his mom, and it feels like them saying it to each other. Ash, if you're in this reading, this is for you. Wow. Yeah. Oh, my heart. You're very loved, group number 3. You're very loved. Never, never give up. Don't give up. You're powerful. You can do this. You've just got to overcome this stress and worry and anxiety and doubt and fear, and understand how powerful you are and own it. Own that power. Find your place, they just said. Find your place. Make a place. Find your way. 2 keys. And the conch shell all stood out to me kind of in sequence. So the 2 keys, they're unlocking things for you. Group number 3. You're going to see things unlock within you as you trust, as you let go, as you detach, as you be okay with what is right now. You're not behind schedule. The conch shell is the call. It is the divine call. And the angels are calling. They keep showing me that clairvoyantly. Like, there's freaking angels around. Like, you've got a bunch of angels around you, and they're like, okay, don't worry. It's all happening. And when it's time, we will call, and you will not be able to ignore that call. It will almost be like a compulsive thing, right? Like, that's how I've experienced it. When Spirit calls me to do something, I cannot ignore it. And I trust myself to not ignore it, because I can't. I physically can't. It's like, it just happens, and you just go with it. So I think this is part of you trusting yourself, or learning to trust yourself. Group number 3 is being able to say, when the call comes in, I will answer it. I will heed that call, because it will just happen. And don't worry about how, don't worry about when, just tell yourself it's going to happen. And I won't be able to avoid it. They keep giving me this energy of inevitability, but in like a good way. It's like, it's inevitable. It's a good thing, and it's inevitable. So don't worry. Don't worry. The moon and the stars. You've got a lot of moons and stars in your reading, in your charms. Oh, look. Wow. You've got the 6-pointed star, the Merkaba. I always see this as Merkaba. This is a light body activation. No wonder the angels are involved here. So this is you. I'm seeing like battling inner demons. I'm seeing rising up out of servitude and being chained up. I'm seeing you freeing yourself. You versus you. Like, there was a part of you that was against you, and there's a part of you that is trying to save you, and they're finally going to like have it out, and you're going to be able to be free, and because you didn't give up. Yeah, because you didn't give up. The sun, they said the sun will rise again. Yeah, you had the death card, the release card, the 8 of cups. Yeah, so you might feel like this is the end. It's not. This is just the ending of a chapter. Yeah, the ending of a chapter, maybe in a book, right? But it's a series. It goes on, right? So the sun will rise again. Butterflies galore. Look at 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 butterflies. This is massive transformation. The butterfly can represent death and rebirth. The caterpillar has to trust and instinctually go into the process of creating the cocoon, and then entering into melting itself down, but retaining its consciousness, and then completely transforming into it like an entirely separate insect, but it's the same thing. This is what I'm saying, is like, you've only seen yourself as this caterpillar. They're actually showing me a worm, and they're showing me the scene from Hercules when what are their names? Pain and Panic. I think that's their names. Hades' little like minions, Pain and Panic. And they're like, we are worms. And they like turn into worms because they can shapeshift. It's like, you're not a worm, group number 3. You're not a worm. I feel like maybe this is the dark part of you, like the doubt, right? The fear is that you're lowly, or that you're unworthy, or that you're this like bedraggled person that has no value. It's not true. It's not true. Stop telling yourself that if that's the case. Like, please stop telling yourself that. It's not true. You've got to see your value, and you've got to trust yourself. You got to break out of the system. They keep showing me that you're like in a system, and you got to get out of it. And you're going to get yourself out of it. You've got 3 transformations here. So this may have been or be 3 significant points in your life where you've transformed. Maybe you've been through 1, there's 2 more. Or maybe you've been through 2 and there's one more, right? It's like there's 3 significant transformations of your life. And I feel like at least one of them you have not been through yet. So this is why they're calling you to this reading and asking you to trust this process. You're going to bloom. Oh, it's a cherry blossom. Something about spring could be significant. Cherries blossom or the cherry trees blossom in May, I think. I can't remember. We have beautiful cherry blossoms here in Vancouver, but there's something about the cherries blossoming in spring, and different flowers blossom at different times. And it's because of conditions. There's so many different environmental factors, and I feel like if you feel like you're behind in life, group number 3, it's not because your seed was defective. It's because the environment was not conducive to your growth in the phases that you expected it to be. But it will bloom. You will bloom. It's like they keep giving me this inevitable. It's inevitable. You're gonna bloom. Like the flower is just gonna open up. Like you just needed the exact right circumstances, and that's why divine timing is such a factor here. But there's something that's unlocking. You got the shoe, the golden slipper. Yeah, so I'm seeing this as stepping forward, stepping into a leadership position, into a position of power, owning your power. I just keep getting that power message. Positive power, yeah. You have the lipstick. Maybe a makeover would help build your confidence. Maybe it's like dress for the job you want, right? Dress for success. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Dress for success. If it's a career transition, start embodying that now, right? Start playing around with it. Because again, there's something about costumes. There's something about role playing, because they did show me that example of like Robin Hood playing a beggar person and then revealing his true form, right? So it's like, you've kind of been in this role that maybe was placed on you through your family or through external expectations or just what you saw in the media, even like, societal programming. It's like brainwashing, really. It truly is. You got to look at this from a soul perspective, group 3. The human stuff, it can be quite distorted. The soul is the truth. But maybe like changing the way you look, because the butterfly can be about physical transformation as well. So change the way you look. It's going to change the way you feel. I just got that reference from Men's Warehouse. You're going to love the way you look. You're going to love the way you look, group number 3. And when you love the way you look, you're going to feel more powerful. It's like almost like wearing a suit, right? Like suit up. And when you suit up, you're going to feel more confident, and then you're going to be, it's like kind of fake it till you make it, but it's not faking it. It's just putting yourself into that role until it becomes you. That's what happens. I mean, talk to any actor who plays a role for long enough. They start to become that person. So make sure that the cloak you're wearing or the role that you're putting on is one that you want to be in. And it's not detrimental to you, and that it expresses more of your power. I'm getting confidence. Like, they just keep giving me this energy of dress confidently, walk confidently, be confident externally, and not as a mask to hide the insecurity, but because that's tapping into a little bit more of your power. And take action. Yeah, they just keep saying like step forward, take action, step up, suit up. Yeah, you're going to bloom. You've got the red rose. They gave me a quote in my head, but I didn't quite hear it because I was thinking of something else. A red rose will bloom. Something about a red rose will bloom. Oh, and they're showing me Beauty and the Beast, when the red rose, like by the time the last petal falls, the curse will either needs to be broken before that, or everything gets stuck that way. It's like this checking the time, like, do I have enough time? Looking at the rose, how many petals are left? Like, how long do I have? But destiny will intervene. Here's the thing, is that Belle was destined to be at the castle. They were destined to meet. She was destined to break the curse. And the Beast had to do that work. And then before the last petal fell, there was transformation. Literally, he went from a beast into a man. So again, there's something about like physical transformation, shedding of the skin, they said. Yeah, shedding of the skin. This is like huge, massive healing and transformation. And when we're talking about light body stuff and the Merkaba, when you go through this type of activation in your light body, in your soul, it can physically change your body. Like you will look in the mirror and you will look different. You look the same. You won't like be a completely different person, but you'll look slightly different because you're going through a light body transformation, and the light body impacts the physical body. Like I've seen it. I've been going through light body activations for the past year, and I don't look like I did a year ago. You can see it in some of my older videos on my old channel. I look so different, and it's because of it's the light body activations. So you got bananas. That's so funny. In the shower this morning, I was singing something about bananas, and it was so random. It was like the beat of a song that I was listening to, and it was like banana, na, banana, and I was like saying banana. It's so funny. Something about bananas. Oh, and they're showing me peeling back the banana. Yeah, they keep talking about like your external self, like the way you see yourself changing, revealing something. Oh, wow. And then you've got the queen bee. So yes, leadership is important here. Leadership is so important here. And again, this is like a destined role for you. You're meant to be in a leadership position, but you kind of had to like earn your stripes, literally the stripes. They gave me that phrase. And then I'm like, oh yeah, bees have stripes. You had to earn your stripes. Your power was tested is what they're showing me. And it was like a spiraling evolution of your soul. From when you were a child, this little lollipop reminds me of a child. And you may have felt like something was taken from you, because I got that phrase, taking candy from a baby. So you may have felt like something was taken from you as a child that impacted this development, but it actually has kind of like catalyzed something. And the evolution, which is how I see spirals, like evolution, expansion, and ascension too, it's like spiraling upward, is going to result in some kind of a sweet treat. You know, candy, that you're going to get the candy, okay? But you have to trust. You have to trust. And the tree with little sort of decorations on it or balls on it. I don't know what that is, but it's like it's reminding me of the tree in The Nightmare Before Christmas when Sally picks up a flower and she goes to pick the leaves off. Didn't we have something about the petals on the flower? Okay, this is so symbolic, you guys. I don't even know. There's something about that, but she's like saying, does he love me? Does he love me not? Right? She's like pulling the leaves off or the petals off, and then it turns into a Christmas tree and bursts into flames. And that's what that just reminded me of. And it was like this omen of doom. But even though Jack fails, he learns a valuable lesson and he returns to his true power. His true role was not to play Santa Claus, it's to be Jack the Pumpkin King. He needed to own that. He needed to rediscover that. He needed to like kind of get off course a little bit, quote unquote, so that he could get back on course. Hold on, I gotta plug in. Is that working? Hopefully. Okay, hopefully it won't die. But anyway. Okay, sorry. So the camera did die. I didn't plug it in time. But it's funny because I was like talking and I look sort of off to the side when I talk because the microphone's to the left. And I happened to look up right before it was about to die. And I had this feeling of like it's about to die. And even though I couldn't see the battery charge on it. So I plug it back in, but then it dies anyway. But then I plug it in a second time and now it's charging and now we're back in action. But I just find it interesting that, again, we're talking about like something dying and then coming back to life or being brought back. Same thing with the candle. We saw that with the death card and the rebirth card of the awakening card. So it's like something needs to die, group number 3. You need to let it die, or maybe it already has, but it's going to be reborn. There's something that's going to come back. There's something that is going to they just said make sense. There's something that's going to make sense, but it's like there's this transformation process going on, and you can't rush being in that chrysalis phase, right? You can't rush the transformation. It needs to happen when it's going to happen. I do feel like this is written in the stars. You have another star here, a silver star, lots of stars and moons. So something's written in the astrology or written in the stars. It's written into your destiny to be in this position of leadership, to earn your stripes, to go through all of this transformation, to go up against yourself and come out victorious, to unlock these parts of your consciousness, to really step up. And you've got the Om sign as well, the symbol. And Om is like... it's the creator energy. It can also represent the above realms and the lower realms of the subconscious mind. It's like above and below. So the tip of the iceberg and then what's below the surface that you don't see. Again, it's like there's a lot of power here, and it's coming straight from God. You know, you have a lot of divine support. I see that. And more importantly, I feel that, you know, seeing something can sometimes be... it's only half the equation, right? To see something is only half the equation, but to feel it and to see it, that's to know it. I'm also getting a message here about feeling and believing is seeing. So if you feel it and you believe it, you will see it. And this is, I think, the internal battle that you need to win or overcome, this doubt or this anxiety. Okay, so we're going to get letters now. I think we talked about all of them, yeah. Yeah. Letters. Whoops. Okay. So if you haven't seen me use the letters before, I use these as prompts. So maybe we'll spell stuff, or sometimes Spirit will just give me words. Yeah, they're meant to like bring through additional information. So I'm seeing a ton. Something has weighed a ton. And they also gave me the word tow. You've been towing something heavy from the past. I think that's why. Oh, they also just gave me the phrase toe the line. You've been towing the line of this, like you've had many false starts, they just told me, where you've maybe tried to initiate changes in your life and then failed. Or you've maybe tried to do something, but it was too heavy because it weighed a ton. You were towing around this baggage. It feels like it came from the family. We were getting that from the beginning. I'm still getting that. I did just get the name Todd. And they showed me the word want. This is something you want. Something you've wanted since you were little, they just said. We don't have an E. Well, there's one over here I can put there for choke. They said choke. So maybe it's like you're afraid that you're going to choke or you're going to mess this up. Or, yeah, they're giving me a message that you feel like perhaps that when your opportunity arrives that you're going to blow it or something. You know what? If that's the case, then let that happen. Because you're going to learn from it. There's something destined about that. Like if you fail or if you have failed, that was meant to happen too. So have faith, take heart in that knowing that no matter what happens, you cannot mess this up because everything that happens is destined. So like you can't screw it up. You can't screw it up, yeah. Hand, you're being given a hand. Something to hand, yes, you've got something to hand. Something may be handed to you that you want. You're not going to choke. You're not going to screw it up. They said real. Yeah, there's no E, but real. This is real. Yeah, they keep saying take heart, take heart. I'm getting the word rally, even though we don't have a Y. So rally, like come back stronger. They keep giving me this message that maybe you've tried and failed in the past, and they're like, rally, take heart. Don't give up. And didn't you have the don't give up charm? Yeah, you did. And they're showing me the scene in The Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies, when the king comes out and like they're all getting, the dwarves are getting whooped by the orcs, and the king comes out the king under the mountain, and he leads the charge, and all of the dwarves rally to him and they win. And it's like, this is what I'm seeing here. It's like when you step into your leadership, when you lead yourself, when you rally and you charge into battle, you cannot fail. But the only failure is giving up. But it's like feeling like you're going to choke, but you're not going to. You won't. Look, they literally just said you won't fail. You won't choke. Because when push comes to shove, you will not be able to. They just said it. They said it, so I'm going to say it. You won't be able to fail. Because even failing was part of it. And then you learn from it, and then you don't fail again. Yeah, I'm seeing chat. You might have an important chat with someone. I'm seeing roll the dice, maybe taking a risk, taking a chance on this career transition or on walking away from something, letting something die in your life so that it can be reborn, so that you can be reborn. I think confiding in the right people is going to be helpful here. I don't think that telling certain people is advised. Like if you have family members who are naysayers, just don't tell them, They don't need to know, but there's something about you just rolling the dice in your life and letting fate decide, and fate will decide. Yeah, land. This may be about moving, because I was getting something about Paris, and it made me think of like travel or moving a different land, or you'll have a soft landing perhaps, right? They gave me the word two, like two people. Two people may be involved in this. Yeah, chat. It takes two to chat, right? So, and I'm getting, there's some O's. Shoot your shot, lad. Oh, yeah, world. Something about traveling to a new land, traveling the world, changing something, shooting your shot. Yeah, literally like rolling the dice, just going for it. That's what it feels like. It's like not holding yourself back. Yeah, I'm getting like the word rack, like racking your brain. But rack can also be about like feeling like you're strung up on the rack, like you can't do anything. But I'm seeing that if you rack your brain, you can, and you don't give up, you can get out of this. Old, look at that. I didn't even see that, and I just tuned in, and it's like old. Yeah, you feel like you're too old, but you're not. You're not too old to shoot your shot. You're not too old to make a change. You're not too old to shift something. I mean, hell, if you are old, that's more of a reason to do it. Like, maybe your time is quote unquote limited on earth, but that doesn't mean that it stops you. It means like go hard, like go do it, go full on. See what you're made of, you might as well try. Hold, I saw hold as well. Something you're holding on to needs to die. It needs to be let go of. They are giving me the word tooth. The teeth can have to do with family and the ancestral line symbolically. They can also have to do with our security. When you have those dreams where your teeth fall out, it's like insecurity, fear of not being able to sustain yourself financially, or not being accepted by others, or not being able to survive. It's like a survival fear. So holding on to these fears around survival is, I think, the only thing that has been keeping you stuck and like hung up in this situation. And maybe even like these shoulds. We don't have it. Well, here, I'll put a U here. Should. Oh, I should do this, or I should have this, or I should be here, but I'm not. It's like you throw those shoulds in the trash, group number 3. I had to learn to do that. And, in my recovery from being a perfectionist, I had to throw shoulds in the trash. And any time that a should came up, I would have to face it with radical acceptance and go, no, like, it is what it is. I am good enough. I am exactly where I need to be. There is no should. There is no should. Well, we don't have the C on the table, like right here, but I'm seeing the word chore. Chore. So if what you're doing feels like a chore, it's not the right thing. Trust me. If it feels like a chore, it's not the right thing. If it feels like you should, it's like obligation, and going back to the beginning of the reading when that power card came out and I was talking about the gift of divine power, the gift of divine power is best expressed through freedom of choice, freedom of expression, options to be able to choose for the self. So shoulds become very limiting. It's that obligatory energy that actually limits the divine power gift. And I used to counsel people in that all the time when I had, clients doing soul realignment readings with me. I would tell them, look, your gift is divine power. If you are getting into shoulds and obligations and expectations, you're actually limiting your soul's expression and you're going to shut down your vital force energy. It's going to become more draining. It's going to become more of a chore. It's going to become more exhausting and less fruitful. But sometimes we have to learn those lessons. We need to learn to master our own energy, our own power. And I think this is part of it too, especially if you have a lot of power. There's a lot of kind of responsibility that comes along with that, but it's not external shoulds and chores responsibility. It's internal responsibility to use that power wisely. Yeah, they keep giving me the word want. Something that you want really badly here. If you want it, then there's some aspect of it that is for you, so. Oh, I saw the word wound. Wound. There's a wound here around trusting your power. This is literally a trust reading. So there's a wound around trusting your power and shouldering a burden. They just said, shouldering a burden. Won. You've won something here, though. Hot. I'm getting like burning passion, hot, fire, KL. I don't know. That's just random. But I do want to say, don't get a chip on your shoulder. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. I'm not really worried about that for you, group number 3, but it's just kind of like a warning. You need to be responsible with your power. Now, they said, something is going to be won now. Because one turned into now. Ooh. Now to shoulder. What is that about, Spirit? Though. I think now you're ready to shoulder a burden that you weren't ready to do before. Or you're ready to do the work on something. It's like you weren't strong enough to carry it before, metaphorically speaking, but now you are. Possibly because of this transformation that's happening. And I say happening because I do feel like this has been ongoing. Yeah, they just keep giving me the message of you won't fail. You won't fail. They gave me the word school. And we can spell it. Yeah, there it is. No, I'm missing a C. That's okay. Shul. No, but like school's in session. There's something that you were learning through this. Like this was the whole reason why it didn't work out exactly in the timing that you thought. It's because you were still learning something here. Every master has to go through being the student. And especially when you have particularly strong power, you need more schooling, not less. Because it takes more to master strong power. So if anything, being later in life, being a late bloomer, quote unquote, you're not a late bloomer. You're just blooming exactly the right time based on the level of power that you have or the responsibility that you have or what you're meant to be doing. Owl, wisdom, Hodor. That's for Game of Thrones. Hodor, he like holds the door. And it's funny because in the books and in the movie or in the show or whatever, he's always seen as kind of like this half-wit or whatever. But then spoiler alert here, if you haven't seen the series or read the books, plug your ears and go la 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 for a second. But at the end, it's revealed that he actually saves, who was it, Bran or something? He saves Bran by holding the door, and he holds it so hard that he like loses himself. It's a huge responsibility, and that's why it takes a lot of power to be able to master that and to do it in a way that you're not going to hurt yourself or anyone else in the process. That's why it's like learning grace is what I just heard. Yeah, learning grace. The owl, yeah, so talking about wisdom here with the owl, learning wisdom, mastering your power, being able to face your darkness too, because owls fly at night. They give me the word shan't, like I shan't be doing that. But I think you shall. I think you shall. Tune. Like a cartoon. Something about cartoons, I don't know. Would. Oh, I would if I could. Tone. Oh, tune and tone. Okay, so this is talking about frequency. Right. Okay. They just gave me the word salt as well. You may need to cleanse your frequency or cleanse your energy. Group number 3. Using salt, like straight up table salt, but ideally sea salt can be helpful because it banishes negative energy. It helps to cleanse you. Like put a handful of salt in your hand and then have a shower and scrub your body down with the salt. If you can't have a salt bath or something, or go in the ocean, it does cleanse your energy because there's something here that you need to hone frequency wise. Your frequency has just been a little bit off, but yeah, it would be better if you could kind of get a handle on that. Yeah, they're showing me, like, again, you have the 9 of Pentacles, so I think being able to ground is going to be really important here. Salt can help you to cleanse your energy so that you can ground. They're talking about honing your frequency of abundance here. So being able to, like, master your own energy and ground and feel safe in your body, less anxious, more in your power, that's what's going to really create positive results here. And they said it's going to problem solve. It's going to solve some problems, and it's going to make you better at problem solving. And they're giving me the word world again. I'm not going to put it back there because we already did that, but they're giving me the word world again. Oh, and the world card in the tarot comes after the judgment card, and it's the completion. The judgment card is the penultimate card. It comes right before the world, and it heralds the ending, which then takes you back full circle to the Fool, which is the beginning of the major arcana. And the Fool is the self, taking that leap of faith and starting a new journey. So I feel like, again, this is death and rebirth, endings, beginnings. You're completely transforming yourself. You're starting something new or doing something in a brand new way that maybe you wouldn't have done it that way before. Maybe you say, I shan't do that. And then now you're like, I shall do that. And you're going to hone and master your expertise. Yeah, they just gave me the word hark. They're saying like shall and shan't and hark, and it's like this is kind of like how the archangels speak, if they could speak English. They speak the language of energy, but I do find that when I channel certain ascended masters and stuff like that, they do talk in old-timey ways, or they speak in different sentence structure or grammatically different than how I would speak. Like, I'm more colloquial and they are a bit more formal. You may even be honing your ability to channel. Literally, like, death and rebirth can be about being that medium between the unseen and the seen realms. Yeah. Hello from, I opened okay, if the camera was wide enough for you to see that, I literally just split the pile of cards that's right here. I split it like this, and it opened right to this card, the Hello from Heaven card. And Archangel Azrael is he's actually the first archangel that came through for me. I remember I was having a bath and I was meditating, and I asked, who's one of my guides, or like, what archangels am I working with right now? And I heard the name Ishmael, and I went and looked up Ishmael, and it came through as Ishmael, also known as Archangel Azrael. And he is like He's known as a counselor, but he also helps to usher souls from like one realm to the other. So he helps people who have died and crossed over. And he also works with mediums. And now I'm literally a professional psychic medium. And I wasn't back then. Well, I guess I was, but I just hadn't become that yet. And I think this is part of the message, group number 3, is that you are this thing. Like, you are a cherry blossom. The seed is the cherry blossom. The blueprint is in the seed. You are that. You can't stop that from being what you are. You just need the right environment and circumstances to become that. And you will become that. Just like I went from, you know, where I was at to being where I am now. It happens. You know, when spirit calls, you will answer. Hark now, hear the angels sing. Something come. How does that go? Hark now, hear the angels sing. The Lord is born today. Who's born on Christmas Day. Something about Christmas. This is so weird. I had several references to Santa coming up earlier today and references to naughty and nice. It's like February when I'm filming this. Why is Santa coming through and naughty and nice? So I think it's something about alignment and integrity. Like, are you in integrity? Are you on the nice list? Something about Christmas could have been significant, or something around Christmas. This is a timeless reading, so take it as it resonates, but something around Christmas could be significant. They did just give me the word sold. Don't sell out, I just heard. Don't sell out. You're going to be very successful, but don't sell out. Stick to your integrity. Something could also be sold. Something may have been sold to you around Christmas. They were giving me the word wool or earlier, and I forgot to mention it, and now they're bringing me back to wool. Maybe like a sweater, a wool blanket, a coat. I don't know, something about wool. Hunt. That reminds me of like sheeps and wolves. Yeah, something, it's you versus you, like you're the sheep and the wolf. So the Lamb of God, wool, Lamb of God. And I was just singing about Christmas Day, Christ was born, something about Christ consciousness. The Merkaba is light activation of the Christ consciousness within. You've been hunted for your wool because you're a Lamb of God. Oh, but hark now, hear the angels sing. A new day dawns today, they just said. It feels like freedom. It feels like some kind of a contract is ending. They said seal. Yeah, something that was sealed is going to be released. You're being released from a karmic contract, group 3. And you're not going to be hunted anymore, from within or without. Wow. The seals can also represent the chakras, the 7 seals, the chakra system. Again, light body activations, higher consciousness, ascension, stepping into your power, your vital force energy increasing. It was low before, they just told me it was low. You had low vital force energy, and that was why you felt like you were not in your power. And why there was anxiety. If this is something that you've experienced, right? It's like, that's the explanation, is because you were low on power. You were being hunted. Ooh, you were being haunted, they just said. Haunted. You were haunted by some kind of like dark beings. Ooh, yeah. So your energy was low. Yeah, they're saying like sold, like, no, your soul was not sold, group number 3. I was like, maybe you think that you sold your soul to the devil. No, you didn't. No. But you were really low vibrational for a while there. This is past tense. They're showing it to me past tense, so I don't think this is current. I think you were in a very low energy for a while because you were being hunted and haunted by this lower vibrational energy. You may have felt like you were selling yourself, right? Like perhaps you were in a career. or a job that did not resonate with you and felt like slavery. This is you selling yourself. It's like a contract. It's like the kind of deal with the devil type of situation. It's like, okay, I'll do this to survive. But it was keeping you low vibrational. And now it's like you reclaiming your power by stepping into your sovereignty and being independent, being a leader. Divine power does best in entrepreneurial roles. I've seen it time and time again. Most people who came to me who had that gift of divine power were already in entrepreneurial roles. But to those who did come to me and they were still struggling, I would recommend entrepreneurship, and then they would step into it and they would really rise to their power, because they would rise to the occasion, because that's just what their soul does. Like that's what suits them best. That's the environment that they can thrive in, right? So don't blame the seed or the flower for not blooming. Change the environment, change the circumstances. That's when you'll see things improve. Low energy turns to high energy. Weakness turns to power. Yeah, they said strength. Can we spell that? Probably not. But anyway, they said strength. Strength. I'm getting the word detach. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah. There's no C's right now, but detach, okay? So detach from when, how, if, and just know that when things are ready, you will know, because you'll be doing something. Like it'll just happen. It's something beyond you, group number 3. It's beyond you, and it's just about trusting that process. There's a much, much larger scale of events that are taking place here. And for you to really step into your power in this lifetime and to leave this legacy, which I do believe that you will do, even though you're meant to detach from the attachment to that at the egoic level, but you will leave a legacy at soul level. They said world again. Yeah, it's going to be a positive impact on the world. And they're saying, trust, because there's no timing that you need to worry about here. Just focus on healing some of those wounds. Focus on becoming your best self. Focus on staying in integrity. Focus on healing your light body. Meditate, ground, eat healing foods. Connect to yourself. Form a relationship with yourself. Nurture yourself, protect yourself. Ooh, ETA. Oh my God, I didn't even see. You guys probably saw that because you're looking down at it, but I wasn't seeing it. Soul, like sun, but also soul. Expected time of arrival. More of your soul is going to come into your body when those lower vibrational energies are expelled through this transformative process. More of your power comes into your body. You become a more powerful creator, and therefore your reality shifts as a result. And it's destined, it's destined, it's destined. They keep saying that. Just focus on healing the wound and you'll see this result. Don't worry about the ETA though, okay? So I'm not going to give you any timing, because that would just further, freak you out. Maybe it won't, but that's what they're telling me. Don't give any timing. And we won't, because this is a soul process and it can't be measured in human time. But it's going to happen when you're ready, okay? Trust. That is what I see for you, group number 3. I hope this reading helped to give you some faith, to not give up, to choose to step into your power, to create your reality, and to trust yourself. Trust the divine. Trust the angels too. Work with the angels. Call on them. Ask them for help. Azrael, Raguel, Michael, whoever you resonate with, call on the archangels. They're there. I just got Shamuel as well. Oh, they're all coming forward. Okay, now that I'm talking about them, they're like me, and they're all like budging to the front and trying to vie for my attention. Ariel, Jophiel, Gabriel, Michael, again, he came forward again. It's like they're all like vying for attention. So you work with the archangels, group number 3. Trust them, trust yourself. You probably have some archangel lineage in you. Like you probably have some archangel DNA. So very, very, very powerful. So trust yourself, okay? You do have a mission here on earth, all right? So trust that. You'll find it. Be that. Okay, I love you. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading.